Listen, look, the other day there was a stranger on the street, and I paid for Uber for him to go.
Him?
Yeah.
Why?
This is the thing. Some people can't. It's not about sex either.
But why?
Because he was intoxicated. The man was, the triangles in the middle of the road. He was on the floor. So I've pulled over and I've gone. Yeah, because I'm.
Wait, who and where was his representatives?
The dude is on the floor in the middle of the triangle in the middle of a road. No, Asian dude, Asian Donny. Okay. Yeah. So I've pulled over the car and I said I'm gonna go check on the dude. So I've gone there and the man is off.
Vikram.
Yeah.
He's off his face. That kind of drunk where he kept trying to kiss me. That kind of drunk. God. Yeah. But as I'm like, where he's like he didn't know where he was.
But how you managed to tell you how to get the Uber though, innit?
Sorry?
Managed to tell you where to get the Uber.
No, that was me. He didn't ask me to do anything.
How did he get home? That's what I'm saying. If you said I
put him in the Uber and sent him home.
Yeah, but how did he know his address?
Where though?
Yeah, he knew his address.
Exactly.
So you weren't that drunk?
Yeah, drunk people, they know their phone number, they know their address. But the thing is, I don't know if I sent him home to beat his wife. Because...
Wow.
Yeah, the way it was talking, like as the conversation went on, because you could tell he had some sort of problems at home. Your wife do this to you? Does your wife? My wife does this to me. She disrespect me. I bought her from. I'm like, whoa, whoa, like whoa, okay. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects. Welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. I am Stavros Boss in the house. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. We also have Big Wile in the house.
What's up, people? Big Wile is in the building. Situations in a life.
At Big Wile.
That's right.
And we have Dat Actor back again.
Yes. Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty. I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man. Let me tell you something. I choose rich every time. DATACTOR, the actor. The actor on Instagram, the actor on Twitter. What's good, people? How we doing? Anybody know where that was from?
I don't even need to know.
I can't remember now.
But I'm choosing it. Is it? What's it called? Is it something like? Is it Benny Mac?
No.
What is it?
It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wolf of Wall Street. Ah, yeah.
I need to watch that film again, man.
That's an excellent film.
Steve Madden.
I could actually remember sitting in the cinema watching that film. It was that great.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, Dat Actor on Instagram and Twitter. You can catch us collectively at ESN Podcast on Instagram, Twitter. You can search for Eloquently Say Nothing on Facebook. Use the hashtag ESN Pod to join in the conversation. Even when we're talking about the F word. Yes, by all means. Yes, join in the conversation. Hashtag ESN Pod. Why are you looking at me like that? So Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
Bad man film.
Yeah,
and
very bad man film.
The chick in that film, what's her name again?
Margot
Robbie. Yes, she's a fine meat. A very fine meat. She's one of the fine meats from that side of the table.
From that side, from that end of the buffet cart.
The one that's not, the one unseasoned. The unseasoned meat. You know what? Are we talking about the week this week?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Oh, sorry. Simple Simon and Mr. Wolf are not going to be on this episode.
So they can piss off.
Yeah. This is the original trio.
Wow.
Old school.
Can we at least say their socials for everybody?
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. He doesn't have an Instagram as he likes to tell everybody.
AKA Mr. Wolf _ AKA Mr. Wolf.
No. The first one you got right.
Yeah, well, there you go.
AKA.
Like anybody gets at him anyway.
AKA Mr. Wolf on Instagram and AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter.
Yes, my people.
All right. So, go on, talk about your week or whatever.
Yeah, so if you don't know, I'm getting married. So, listeners, I don't know if I've said it before, but I'm getting married. But the man didn't know I'm getting married anyway. So, obviously, I've been going to my barbers every so often. We chat about. Well, I try not to chat to the barbers too tough because I just want to cut my hair and leave. I'm not like Mr. Wolf. I don't want to sit down and have the big conversations or whatnot. I want to get my trim and get out most of the time. But when I do sit on the chair, I have little conversations like how's things, how's the wife, blah, blah, blah. Explain to me, I'm getting married next year, blah, blah, blah. So that's like, yeah, that's nice, blah, blah, blah. Recently, he's taken a little bit more interest, but nothing much. So this week now, getting my hair cut. I'm sitting down at the trim now. Yeah, what's going on, Wahala? You good? Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. How's the wedding plans going? Oh, it's going. When is it? Oh, next year. Oh, when? Oh, yeah, this time. Okay, cool. What day is it? Oh, yeah, it's on the Saturday. Yeah, it's on the Saturday. Oh, because I can't come. I looked at him like, did anybody invite you to the wedding? He's like, yeah, because I wish I could be there. Like, I'm looking at, when you're trying to look away, like, have you seen the gif of, what's his name's wife? Chelsea, is it Chelsea Teigen?
Yeah,
and she's making that straight, that straight shit.
Yeah.
Then he said, I wish I could be there. That's the face I made in the mirror while he was cutting it. I was just looking side to side for someone, like, I didn't invite you, bruv. But yeah, anyway, gladly you can't come because there's no space for you there. I didn't say it. Because maybe if you have something in the evening, I can turn up. I was like, yeah. And then he was like, right, so I already decided that for my wedding trim, I was going to get Slider to do my hair. So I was going to get a Slider Cuts wedding trim. But no, my mum wasn't having that. So he's like, when you have your wedding, just let me know, man. When you're ready, I'll give you the best cut. I'll give you the finest cut. Again, now I'm looking at the mirror like, this man thinks he'll come in to get my hair cut for the wedding. So the man them.
Yeah, why would you not think that?
Hold on.
You go there every week.
Is this the same barber that messed you up the other time?
He's the same barber that cuts my hair all the time.
Okay.
So, but when I asked him to do my hair, when I asked him to cut my hair for the TV show, he did it really good. Everybody was happy with that.
Yeah.
So,
that day he did a better job.
So he can do it when you think he's because of the way my hair is. I think he doesn't like to cut it too thinly because most of the time, when I get razor bumps, I think he doesn't like to cut it too sharp because it's like I get the razor bumps wherever he cuts it. Does that make sense?
I do. It does make sense. I was just going to ask a side question to that question. Are barbers allowed to have an off day?
Yeah, of course they are.
Everybody can have an off day, but their off day is messing up.
Yeah, it's messing up your life, bro.
Boy.
So the question I'm asking you, man,
I was going on a date tonight.
The question I'm asking you, man, is this, yeah? Because obviously, I'm a whore when it comes to barbers. I have no law in barberism in any way, shape, or form. I never have, never will. But do you feel like I should give the opportunity for the barber that has been cutting my hair for 365 days to have my wedding cut? Or do you think I should go to Slider and get my hair cut celebrity style? Slider cuts for my wedding day. Because my business said you should just go to whatever one she said go to whatever one you want to go to. You shouldn't feel, obliged to go to the guy. And I'm like, what? My missus obviously owns a salon. I guarantee you, if my missus was doing someone's hair 365 days of the year and then suddenly on the wedding, the person goes to somebody else, she would be upset. So, I'm asking the man them and also the Twitter universe when we're ready. So,
Hashtag
ESN pod. Should I stay low to my barber, but leave him a blood clot barber, or should I go to Slider Cuts? What do you reckon? I'm talking now like Slider Cut might not even already be booked by the time I wanna get my hair cut by him.
I think the first person that ever cut your hair should cut your hair.
What, my mum?
Yeah.
No, it's not happening.
Why not?
I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. We're going to go in further about that because there's some more jokes about
one African tradition, when you are getting married, the first person that's ever cut your hair
should be the
go
person
back,
that cuts your hair on your
find
wedding
them.
day.
If they did, resurrect them and allow them to cut your hair again. That is the only way you have a successful marriage.
Your marriage will never be successful without it.
Find them. Go on.
So what do you reckon?
No, I'd say go for Slider Cuts. You're going to get a good trim.
He's never cut my hair before.
Fresh, going to be nice. But he seems like someone that he takes pride in his work. He takes good pride in what he does. I'm not dismissing any other barber in there because the barbering profession is a very good profession. But Slider Cuts, we know him.
That's very good profession.
It's a very good profession. We know him personally and we know him professionally, and he's grown to be a very good individual and a celebrity barber. You're not a celebrity, but
I'm a celebrity in the hood.
Yeah, hood celebrity, hood fame.
What do you think, Steph?
I would go to whoever I feel is going to get me the better cut. But different to you. Once you said, I can't come to the wedding, I would have told him that you weren't.
You can't cut my hair no more.
No, I don't know. Forget the cut.
Nah, man, not big cut.
The thing about the cut, I probably would do that on the sly. But the thing about the wedding, because I would feel it. I understand your barber feeling a way about not being the person to cut your hair during the wedding. That one I get completely and totally. So that's why I'll do that on the sly, because I would actually have actual shame when that came up. But the thing about you not being invited to my wedding, I wouldn't feel shame. You're just a barber. You're necessarily not just a barber, but me and you are not tight. You could be just a barber and me and you're better.
He's Nigerian, so it doesn't matter if you're tight or not.
Yeah, me and you are not tight. I have a tight schedule. By all means, you can always blame it on the wife as well. Like, oh, they wanted a small wedding. And
I'm not going to blame it on anything.
I wouldn't do that.
He has to know where to get there first, innit? That's what sent it to him.
But he's not invited.
Yeah, it's just what sent it to him.
Yeah, but then, okay, let's say after he says, oh, he tells you a few weeks before that he's available. Then what?
I say, yeah, brother, ain't no space. I don't mind it. The traditional, maybe. I'll say you can come to the traditional.
All right. Okay. Anyway, so go on.
So you think I should get my hair cut by whoever's going to do it best?
If you feel Slider's going to do it best, then go to Slider and do it because it's your wedding day and you want to look crisp. It's that's part. That's look. They say during the wedding day, innit? Woman does all the organization. Woman wants to do the blah blah blah. Woman does yada yada yada. And the man, what you're meant to do is you're meant to turn up. You're meant to turn up and just look good in it.
Leave me alone, bro.
Turn up in a nice suit, look good. That's your job. Yeah, and hopefully cry when a woman walks down the aisle.
I ain't crying. I don't know, man. I just felt away and I don't normally feel away for barbers, you know. I'm just usually like, boy. But I actually thought because me and him have become like I've got kind of like a bond now because I go to him. Like even in the barbers, I still only go to him in that barbers as well. I don't go to the other barbers who are good as well. Probably some of them, one of them's blatantly better than him as well.
What do you mean as well? This one, your barber is not particularly good.
He's a good barber. It's just me that he doesn't come. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Everyone else's haircut's fine. It's just my hair that he tends to be very cautious with doing certain cuts. He doesn't cut it crisp because I think of the fact that I get the razor bumps and stuff.
All right.
But yeah, man, I just felt away and I was like, I don't know what to do. So I thought I'd bring it to the man and bring it to the table. But there was a couple other things in the barber that was making me laugh. So there was another thing that was in the barber that I entertained myself with. There was a mother there that was with her 2 kids. One of them must have been about 9. One of them must have been about 5. And the one that was about 9 had like a high top, really big high top now, yeah? So she said, I'll go and sit in the chair. Obviously, they're not Jew. Go and sit in the chair. Excuse me. So I sat in the chair and then she was basically instructing the barber to cut down the high top. So he was like, Mama, you know, let me hammer. And he just, shut up. Telling the barber to cut it off. The barber's laughing now, cutting it off. She didn't cut it off completely. He still had a high top, but his hair was really high before. Mm-hmm. So they cut off maybe about an inch. That's how much hair he had. Maybe about that much, an inch that she took off.
Inch. So now, is that half of it? Was that most of it?
No, it's maybe about 1.5 inches now. So in height.
So he's still got 1.5 inches.
Yeah, he had a big.
So she cut off a third of it.
Yeah, basically.
Right,
but he was still, he looked good. He looked really good.
So he looked good.
Yeah, and the mom was like, you're not looking neat, you know. She didn't like the way he was before. But he was complaining. So when I sat down in my barber's chair, we was both laughing. And I said, do you even think that this boy is even trying to feel like he should have a conversation about his hair? When we was young, he wouldn't even been able to be in the barbers to have that conversation, let them have a conversation with their hair. So what do you feel now? As we're older now, there's a few things. In fact, there's another thing I want to talk about that actually links to this as well, actually. As we're older now, what things do you feel like you do now that you wouldn't have done when you was at home? So that's the other question, but I'm talking about the barber thing. Do you feel like if you had a child that went to the barbers, would you let them have freedom about how they would cut their hair?
Yeah.
You let them decide what they want?
Yeah.
What about you?
Definitely.
So you wouldn't be like our parents would tell them you have to have a certain hairstyle.
I don't know why they don't do that, man. That's
because they didn't want you to look a certain ruffian way.
That's my child's business. The only way I would stop that is if I really, really thought it's gonna mess up some chance of them doing something that is gonna like be. Let's say, for instance, I'm trying to put them in, let's say, some tough school. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I figure that. Let's take into account, I want to send him to a tough school now. So, I mean, this is the hypothetical. Yeah. The hypothetical me wants to send my child to a tough school, my son, to a tough school. And I feel, I don't mind him having his haircut any time before or after. But during the interview, because they have an interview, I reckon that if he doesn't have a haircut of some shape or form, that he might not pass the interview. And I think it's important for him to go to this school for his whole future. And I'm not willing to stand up and do the fight of, well, it's more important that he just has his hair. If they're not going to accept him for who he is, then they won't accept him. I'll be like, no. It's not even a race thing. It's just about they want people to have, in brackets, neat hairstyle.
So you make him get the hairstyle for that?
In that kind of circumstance, yes. But on a day-to-day, living their life.
If you want green hair, blue hair, yellow hair, you don't care.
I care, but not in that. But I want my child to express
in
themselves.
that capacity. Let your child express themselves. They need to find themselves anyway. So let them express.
You're getting a fade.
Otherwise,
or the same shape. You're not getting any.
You don't want your child to go to Bibi and get his haircut.
Who's Bibi?
Bibi, the barber from Atlanta.
Oh, that guy that took ages.
I didn't remember the man's name. He was in one episode.
That was a bad boy episode.
It was a good episode.
Every episode of Atlantis.
Nah, man, I'm not. My child's gonna get the haircut that I decide he's gonna get until up to a certain age.
Okay, what age are we talking about then? Pick an age and then.
Until they can pay for it themselves.
So let's say a 12-year-old.
Has he got money to pay for it
No,
himself?
it doesn't.
No. You get the
So a
haircut.
12-year-old says they want a high top, and you're not a fan of high tops.
No, you'll get. If I'm paying for your hairstyle, you're getting what I tell you that you can have for it.
If your child gets a paper out or something like that, and then can pay for his own haircut.
Yeah, if you can pay for your own haircut, you can go and get it. And if I don't like it, we're gonna get it cut again.
This is the thing. I've never understood this idea of when you're under my roof, you don't do this.
Yeah, my house,
as
my rules
long
behavior.
as I'm paying for it, you can't do that. I've never understood
Can
that.
I just say one thing to you?
Go on.
Do you pay these bills? Do you pay this bill? Because if you don't, no, you can't do what you want underneath my house.
I don't get it. What is the fact that you're in my house got to do with anything?
Because I'm telling you to do something. If you're underneath my house and this is my stuff that I do in my house, then this is how it goes. You can't be doing what you feel like you can do outside in this house without me giving you the seal of approval with that. Do you pay these bills?
Okay, God, hopefully in Jesus' name, will never tell my child, as long as you're under my roof. I will never start the sentence with that.
But I don't care what roof you're underneath. I'll tell you what to do.
This is my point, because it's got nothing to do with whose house you're in. It's got nothing to do with who pays the bills. It's got nothing to do with whose money is it. It's got to do with it's your dad telling you, and that's the end of it.
Yeah,
I don't care where we are. We could be in too much. You could be in Egypt, and I'm here in London, and I'm telling you do this, you do it.
Yeah, but some people are going to be like, okay, let's say sex, for example.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind you having sex, but I don't want you having sex underneath my roof. So while you're underneath my roof, you don't have sex here in this house. Go have sex in the garden.
Why?
Because I don't want you to have sex in my house. I don't want to know that my daughters had sex in the house or my sons had sex in the house.
Unless it's done in a controlled environment. I don't want you doing it.
You walk into the room and then... baby! The child has been having sex in the room.
Yeah, he's like,
oh my God.
You might not want that in your house. So you might say, in my house, you don't do anything. Smoking.
It depends how big
Smoking.
my house is.
You're not smoking in my house.
No, I don't want my child smoking.
Yeah, but they might do. Regardless, if they move out of their house and you cannot stop them from doing things in their own house because you're not there.
I can stop them.
Okay, so how you can stop them?
Chop off their hands.
Well, then you chop off their hand. They can still
chop off their lips.
They use it with their toes.
Chop off their lips.
I'm sure there's people that smoke with their toes. So in the end, that's why some people say that particular sentence, innit? Under my roof, you do my rules.
And then so what? You can go outside and smoke then?
I don't know. That's what some people.
You're not under the roof, innit?
Nah, man.
I think it's the whole thing is being a responsible parent. I'm responsible for you, so I'm responsible for how you look, what you do, what you eat, how you behave. I put the clothes on your back. I put the food on the table. I relatively own you until a certain point.
Yes.
Well, many people will say you don't own the child.
They're foolish.
Shout out Celine Dion.
It's my property.
Shout out Simple Simon.
It's my intellectual property. I own you.
My IP, you know.
Yeah.
You can't argue that one.
Simple Simon likes to say that the government owns you. You don't own your child. If I remember rightly, anyway.
Yeah, the government owns your kids. Once you sign over the paperwork, innit? That's the birth certificate.
Yeah, well, apparently. Well, I'm not having that one.
So there was one other thing I was talking about. So I put it in the WhatsApp chat the other week, but we didn't discuss it. So one thing I've noticed is that since I've moved out of my house into my own home with my fiance, right? I'm doing things now that in my own house, because we didn't have the option to do it, I'm just doing it. So one thing, and Stab will back us up, in my house, we had one cereal. That was cornflakes. That's the only cereal we had. If Rice Krispies found his way to the house, it was an excitement. Like somebody, oh my gosh, there's something different, yeah? But it was one cereal. Now, because I'm living on my own outside of my house, or because I've moved out beforehand, I just have like 8 different cereals in my house. And I'm not eating the cereals. Cereals are just there. But it's just because I can do it now. Is there anything that you do now that you've moved out? That
you got the bigger version of the variety pack.
Yeah. Variety pack. That's another thing. If you came to the house variety pack, it was a big deal. And then you'd have to scramble about who gets the good ones and then who ends up getting fruit and fiber. But
my precious. Stay away from my precious.
But you know what I mean? It's like, in our house, it was just cornflakes. You had nothing else. It was Kellogg's though. We didn't have the Tesco brand or whatever. But it was Kellogg's at least. But it was just cornflakes. Standard.
Yeah, them cheap ones that when you put the water in, it looks like... Yes, I said water. Yes, I said water.
Yes.
When you put the water in, it starts bubbling like it's soap.
Yeah. I remember the first time I had cereal, because at the moment, I don't have water in my cereal anymore.
What?
No. I just have milk now.
Oimba!
What do you mean? No, it's not. Have you not really established that it's just us that does that?
Like in my house with it?
Yeah, because you've decided that. Nah. I do not eat cornflakes anymore. If I had cornflakes, I would put hot water.
Do you consider that moving on up? You've moved up.
In a way, it's like I branched my wings out. Flying without the wings. It's like it was a way of me saying I've made my independence and now I've got my puff.
Yeah.
When we came up, we had cereal with like a third milk and 2/3 boiling water.
A third milk.
Yes. So that's where the
small cup of milk.
That's where okay, maybe
I put a
you might
third
have done
milk.
half and half. I don't know, but
Yeah,
we did milk and then hot water. That's how we were courted.
I put milk and then I top it up with hot water
Not me.
to give it that crunch.
Not me. It's more water than.
Because
more water
you
than milk.
have no.
I like my food boiling.
You like your food village. That's why.
but the point is,
How'd you like your food, sir? Village.
that's how we came up. In this is the Stabra Wahala I'm talking about now. And so when we left the house, well, all right, I'll talk for myself. I didn't realize other families didn't do that.
Nobody did that. Remember, I said it on the podcast
Yeah,
one time that we went
yeah.
to. The first time I found out is when I went to a school trip, and they would look at me like I was mad because I sent the woman. I basically sent the woman back like she was an idiot for bringing me cornflakes without hot water. Like she's a fool. And everyone's like, "Why do you want hot water for?" And I was cussing everyone. What do you mean, boy, you want hot water? Of course you can have hot water. What kind of idiot are you that don't have hot water in your cereal? And it was like, it's only when the other black boys was like, nah, wahala, bro. We don't put.
Fab, sorry, fab.
He's like, brother, is it not a brother thing? No, it's not a brother thing, man.
Nah, bro, it's not. It's just your house, bro.
You've got some other room, man.
And the thing that made it worse is
You're being child abused, fam.
every time you watch the advert, you never see them put hot water in it. So what made me decide that was the benchmark?
Oh, you know what? This is real indoctrination because he's right.
It's true.
It's real. In every advert, you saw cereal, they splashed it
Splashing
in,
milk.
and then they splashed milk on top. Because for me, I put the milk before the cereal as well. the hot water went on top. So you see that in every advert.
So
But because we came up having it one way, as much as I'm joking, yeah, we're joking, but this is very serious. Just like Wahala said, he was seeing those adverts, yet still in his brain, the way he did it was the way everyone did it.
It was the truth.
And
Yeah, because
why
the
is
adverts were wrong. Because even in my house, me and MG, rest in peace, MG,
So
it'd be hot water and milk.
what did the rest do?
Which order did you put it in, and what kind of percentage? What
The hot
ratios?
water will go in first, then the cornflakes, then the milk.
That's even more village than the other side.
I prefer it my way.
Your way.
I can't even say I prefer my way.
Everybody has their own
I've
way.
never done it your way. If I had to do it your way, it's like, oh dear, I've made a mistake.
We had such diabetes because we used to put sugar at the top too.
Oh, sugar used to go in. MG used to have 8 tablespoons of sugar. 8 tablespoons.
Teaspoons.
No, tablespoons.
Wow.
Table. And just for extra, he'll pour Coke on top if you want to do it.
Coke?
But no.
Sprinkle a bit of Coke.
Yeah, Coke.
Cocaine or Coke? Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
What kind of... Nah, your mom has to...
You're joking, you're joking.
Like,
No,
what
I'm
you
joking
did.
about the Coke.
But to say, I don't know your mom had that
The
one.
8
That's good Coke that you lot wasted.
tablespoons, man. He was an advocate to have diabetes, but he never had it. I don't know why.
But is there anything that you now do in your house that you just do, not necessarily because of the fact that you just want it, because I don't need 8 cereals, but it's because I know that in the past I've never had that.
I go to bed whenever I want. I wake up whenever I want. I don't have no one telling me to... Yeah. I leave my briefs anywhere I like. Sometimes the briefs are on the flipping cooker. And I don't know how they got there, but they just got there.
Bucket naked sex.
Yeah. And the whole walking around naked as well.
That's one thing my missus dislikes about me, man.
Walking around naked.
I just dash off the pant one time.
Yeah, the
and it's
pant-
there somewhere. It's there.
Dashed.
Discarded.
And I kick it with my foot. You know when you
It's usually next to the bed.
just kick it with the foot.
It's always next to
It
the bed.
flips.
But she's like, why don't you just dash the pant next to the bed? I'm like, what's the put it?
Yeah.
I'm free now. Free.
I think it's quite telling that you feel the need to do stuff just because you couldn't do it before, even though you don't really want to do it now. I think that's a flaw.
No, I want the cereals.
You said
But
you
I-
don't even eat the cereal.
No, I eat them, but I don't eat them. I don't eat cereal every day.
Let me backtrack.
I don't eat cereal. So I don't eat cereal for breakfast, and I don't eat every day. But it's like as a snack, instead of having like people might have biscuits and crisps or whatever, I'll have cereal.
And I drink from the bottle. And I'll put it in a cup.
That's the savage.
Okay.
If there's no one else in the house, it's cool though.
Yeah, there's no one else in the house. Not before I give anybody a drink.
That's
I'm
fine.
saying.
That's fine.
There are not things that I do now that I didn't do before because I wasn't allowed in the house. There are things that I don't do now that I did before because I was forced to do them, and now I'm not forced to do it, so I don't do it as much.
So what's that?
A lot of housework stuff. So
Ironing.
as you can see, my clothes are quite creased because I was putting them on without ironing. Because I did so much ironing when I was younger, I think you have a capacity of ironing in your life from 1 to 100.
That is the worst chore, though.
And then I got to 100 by the time I was 17.
Do you have a newfound respect for DIY when you do it in your own house, like putting up shelves and
No,
putting cabinets
I hate
together?
I love DIY.
why would you respect it?
Because it's in a sense of achievement when you've put up your own shelf or cabinet.
You put your hand on your hips to look at when you're finished.
You know what?
And the pencil in the air and everything. Like, yeah.
No, because I think because I'm a creative, there's just stuff I see that I've done everywhere. So I don't look at it like that. I'm sitting in listen.
Everywhere.
Okay, yesterday we were somewhere. We'll discuss where we were, but we're talking. But it was a creative field, right?
Yeah.
So when you met somebody, everybody was like, "So what do you do? What do you do?" And I kept saying, "I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing. Yeah, I got 9 to 5 because nobody there has a 9 to 5. They're all bums like that actor. Yeah.
Creative bums.
No, exactly. They're doing something.
We are celebrated bums.
Yeah, they're doing something, making their money, doing something that they are some sort of art, some sort of creative field.
We're doing our passions.
All right, so that's why they get to get up and go down because they don't really get to go up and go down when they want because they're hustling at stupid times of morning and night because they have their own things they're doing. So I'm telling people I ain't doing nothing, whilst that actor is behind me. Yeah, he does this, he does that. But it got to the point where we were speaking to somebody with dreadlocks. I said, "Oh, my brother's fiance is a loctician. Go to her store." And then, or her, her salon.
Her salon.
Let's get it right.
Her boutique.
And I said, "Oh yeah," when you walk in, because they were, whilst we were discussing, the conversation started growing and growing. And then I would say, "Oh yeah, when I did this," and they said, "Oh, well, you're right." "Oh, when I did that." "Oh, so you podcast?" And when you did this, and then when I mentioned the shop, I said, "Oh, when you walk through the doors, that logo on top of the door,
I make that.
That was my design as well." He's like, "You do that as well?" I said, "Yeah, but I don't. I still just do my 9 to 5. But the reason you're scrunching your face is when I say I'm a creative and I see things, it's because it's true. Wherever I look, it's something I've done because I do DIY. I don't want to, but I do. I hate it. So there is stuff in my house, both houses, that I've created and I've made. And there's stuff in this shop that I'm sitting in right now that is on top of my head. It's something that I designed.
Let's finish my monogram if you can, please.
I need the font.
So I'm waiting on the missus.
When I get the font, I'll finish it. I've already done. I just need the font.
I'll tell her.
All right. Okay.
What gram you getting?
Do you know the things that they use for the logos, the icons? Is it monogram?
A monogram for his wedding.
Oh, are you getting
wedding
your
logo.
handkerchiefs?
I don't know. I don't pay money for that. We'll see, man.
Look at that there. You should have told me that, man. I would have done that. No. I didn't even like my one because I designed mine, but I did it to the missus' specifications. I didn't like it at all. I think it's quite bush. But my wife is bush, so what I expect. So I just had to get married under a bush logo that I didn't like.
Under a bush logo.
That's what it was. It was bush. But anyways, each to their own.
Okay, so you do things that you don't do things now.
There are things that I'm way more relaxed with, way more slack. I can look outside of myself and say, "Stuff, you should really be washing more, ironing more, cleaning more." And so those are the things. It's a lot of housework stuff. That's the thing where when my wife starts moaning at me about, I can't argue. I just have to sit there. You're right, and I'm sorry because
You know one thing I don't do as much? I don't watch porn as much.
Well, now you're not in your parents' house.
Yeah.
So
and
what?
that's really weird.
Not necessarily. Is not sex more available to you now?
No, it is more available, but
then that's it.
I think it was the excitement of watching porn and possibly getting caught and having to find it.
I
and all of
had
that.
no desire or every type of excitement of me getting caught.
I don't get this getting caught thing. I don't want to get caught.
I never ever want to even think about getting
to get caught. But the fact that you might get caught, I think
Then
that's the whole thing.
I don't want that excitement.
No.
And I've done the thing
excitement.
in public, and no, it's a turn off for me to think I'm going to get caught, unless it's a turn on.
What?
Okay, so let's say I was in. Okay, I've done something in the cinema before, and a couple of times actually. But one time it was actually in the screen. One time it was in the toilets, but one time it was actually in the actual seats, right? But it was only a couple of people there. Now, if there were a couple of buff things there, then maybe that would have been a turn on if they saw me. But if it's dudes, then I wouldn't want them to catch me. But if a buff thing was sitting to my left, to my 9 o'clock, and a buff thing to my 2 o'clock, and they both happened to turn around and see, and they started to rub one out, I'd love it.
After
Yes, that's the way my mind went.
give you
They
the
didn't turn
around
around
YouTube play
and
for
screw up
real.
their face and say they're
College
leaving.
levels real.
They didn't call the security. They didn't just shrug their shoulders and went back to the TV. In my mind, they started rubbing one out.
In other words, you had a porno in the porno. That's what you had, porno in your boy. I bet music started playing in the background.
A real porno. They would have come and joined in.
No, sometimes they just rub it out. They'll be watching you.
They'll just watch.
Yeah, that would be good. But in general, I'm not here to entertain you. We don't need no Dominic Soler here business.
No, I'm not involved in parents even catching me in any way, shape, or form. It's like when Chris Rock says, was it Chris Rock? They were talking about white kid and they'll be like, who that? It's that type of one there. Who that? Nah, man, they're not involved.
Not for me.
Remember, was it? I think it's Chris Rock, and I think Dave Chappelle mentioned it. When Dave Chappelle was talking about that good wank when the person's not in the house.
The person's gone.
That
Puts on
long
the soft
stroke.
music.
Long.
Puts the lotion. Puts on the Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah, like you're having romantic time with yourself.
Romantic time with yourself.
Well, take yourself out and all that.
Well, it's necessary, ladies and gentlemen. Once in a while,
yourself out.
it's necessary.
Run a bath.
All right.
Candles.
Did either of you listen to the Halfcast podcast
No.
last week as you're hearing it? The one with Krept on it.
No, I didn't hear it.
All right. So you asked me, what was the question you asked me? What did he say?
Yeah, because they were talking about the gigs thing, innit?
All right. So last week we mentioned gigs getting at Krept and Conan, and they didn't really respond.
It's cold in there.
It is. Yeah, so Giggs got Krept and Conan on Instagram. He was having a butchers at them because they were bigging up one of their friends' artists, apparently. So it's not
You
their
don't play
artist.
dirty? Okay.
One of their bona fides, who's part of Play Dirty,
Okay.
is his artist.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I guess they are connected, but sideways connected.
Okay.
Like it's their nephew kind of thing. So apparently they both just come out of jail. So the managers come out of jail, got this artist who's also recently come out of jail. They made this banger and it's top 20. So they're bigging up their boys for getting the top 20. Then Giggs has, I said, you people are basically, what is it?
Go hangers.
Yeah, go hangers. You're just breading. So what he's done is, on the Halfcast podcast, they were discussing it before. But because they know these kind of people, they're very delicate with how they mention it. But because they're in the circle. So they said they'd love to get one of them on. So Krept came on. And he discussed it from his point of view. And I think he was very diplomatic. He was very...
He has to be.
For one, he said that, as far as he's concerned, Giggs is one of the elders. He said it on multiple interviews. You'll hear that I said Giggs is one of my influences. He's the reason why I'm rapping. He said it straight up. So Giggs is one of the reasons why I'm rapping. I've told him to his face. I've seen on bare interviews before. So that's one. So yeah, he's like our elder in the game.
Mm-hmm.
No problem with that. Then they mentioned this thing about is Giggs upset or a bit disgruntled about the fact that he was put on this top 20 charts from Red Bull, and that Krept and Conan weren't, because Krept and Conan made a complaint that how come we're not in the top 20 most influential rap, grime, trap artists. I don't know what the title was, but they weren't in the list.
Yeah.
So they mentioned the fact that they weren't happy about it. But even then he said that he was quite happy to say he wasn't happy with it, but he understands that they're still making moves. So they're not taking money in my pocket or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that bit.
But end of the day, I still feel I deserve to be on the list, which is fine. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
All right. So, but he was quite diplomatic, and he said that I just want to know what's going on because we have mutual friends. I've hollered at the mutual friends, and he hasn't been forthright in saying what the problem is because I don't know. We ain't done nothing to him. Every time we've linked up, there's been no issue. So I don't know what I've done. And then what he did, which was bang bang, is like he explained in this situation. This is my boy's artist. The boy is part of Play. My boy is part of Play Dirty. So we're connected. So we didn't jump on it. We made the remix before you ever heard the original. Or no, we were going to make the remix before you heard the original. He kept coming with receipts. He's like, I want you to show this. But he didn't let the camera see it. But he's like, read this, show you this. He kept like, I want you to see. We were talking about doing the remix before the original came out. Not before they heard the original, but they heard, wow, this is a banger. Yeah, we're going to be on this remix. So they didn't know that the song was going to blow up before they said they're going to do the remix.
Okay.
And then some of the other ones, because they started going through the other songs, they said that we will again, same thing. We were down to do the remix before the song ever blew up in the first place. So we've never been go hangers. It just so happens that the songs that we've chosen to do, they happen to blow up. And he showed them proof again, receipts. look at these big American artists that asked us to be on a remix, and we told them no. If we would just wanted to be there just for the thing, we would have done this. And again, look. Can you see me? You said no to this artist, to that artist. It's not just that there's people that are not people that they disrespect or whatever. It's just we didn't feel to be on that song, so we just said no. So it had nothing to do with like platinum selling artists, and we told them no. So it got nothing to do with that. So dig that, ain't so nothing. What kind of And he kept saying basically, you know, if a song's done at 20,000 or 40,000, that's not really doing anything for our life. It's not a humble brag, but it's not doing anything for me. That's not doing anything, and we're not single artists. We're album artists. That's why they can sell out concerts apparently a year after their album or 2 years after their album, because they're not single people. They're album. They have a collection of things. So he just defended himself without insulting gigs,
which is good.
Without insulting gigs at all. He just wanted to. I just want to know what's going on.
There's no reason for this type of war to go on in the music industry with the young guys, man. I'm happy that they just they did it diplomatically. I hope it stays diplomatic.
Yeah,
as well,
because I was very happy with it.
There's a lot of unreasonable and unnecessary ways that things like this can go. But if they're just like, you know what, I ain't got no beef with you. I don't know what the problem is. You can let us know what the problem is, and then we can discuss it.
Yeah.
Then as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing to go. Gigs might come out and just tell them, shut up. I don't care what you care about. I don't know.
But I got the impression that Conan wasn't on that flex. He wasn't on the show.
Krept.
But I got the impression.
Conan's a bit more vexed.
I got the impression. Just got the impression, because he didn't come out and say it, but from little bits I heard, it just sounded like Conan is not exactly the diplomat
out of the two
that Krept maybe.
Okay.
And they spoke about the restaurant actually, and about how because you know when they first opened, they had bad reviews.
Yeah.
So the person, what's his name, Chucky, he said he's been there recently. He said, "Did you review it?" He said, "No." He said, "Review it, brother, because it was good." Yeah. He said, "Yeah, it was good. It was wicked. There was like a bear of them." He said, "We all got served on time and everything." He said, "You need to review it, because only the people that don't like it review it."
That's how it works.
Can you tell us, please? And then he explained why there was issues, and he said basically he wasn't meant to. They had a manager, which was another friend, and the friend waited until it was built and then killed himself.
Oh wow!
So just before it had opened, they had to now start managing, because the person that they had to manage killed himself, and so it's like it had to be him and somebody and one of their mums. Yeah, but it wasn't meant to be. The manager was there, but he was obviously
mentally,
he was
ill.
And he said that basically he picked him up for the fact that the type of person he is. He waited until at least we built it, and then he did it. But he did it like as soon as we had it's done.
He had accomplished what he thought he had accomplished.
This is accomplished.
That's really sad, though.
So he said he was thrown in the deep end. He said he was interviewing people for the job. He's like, can you imagine me, Krept? I was sitting there interviewing people. I wasn't meant to do that. It was his job. So I was doing it. He's like, and then he started talking about, I have to do all this, pay as you earn, this and that. He's like, I don't know how to do all this stuff. He had nothing to do. I didn't, but I had to do it. So yeah, in the beginning, things were a bit up in the air. So because I was doing it, me and Conan were doing it ourselves. So now that we've got somebody else in, and the ropes are, proper people that do restaurant, I said, okay, it's good that he got to explain himself, because, and then talking about, it's not nice just to attack people without knowing what's going on.
It's true, but that place is foreign, so I don't know when I'm going to get that again.
Have you been there before?
I'm not going to that place. There's no reason for me to update my passport to go to Croydon. It's long. I know they got this new festival thing that's coming down there, which is interesting.
There's a festival in Croydon.
Have you not heard this? There's a new festival coming to Croydon. Have you heard about this?
No.
So they've got 3 days.
Croydon's going to be the new lick,
3 days. First day, Nas is headlining it.
Wait.
Hang on,
Second day is Wizkid. And the third day is Damian Marley.
Yeah. I saw that post.
And then the other artists are yet to be named. Now I'm praying that these people are not doing the shenanigans that some promoters do, where they put the big names on there and suddenly they'll turn up.
One turns up.
But yeah, that's what's happening. Apparently they're doing
that's in Croydon.
Yeah, they did one festival in Croydon. Croydon's. I don't know what happens now. I don't know when they think that. Maybe because it's so far, it's like going to Brighton. That people are just like, you might as well get hotel rooms or whatever.
South London is happy to trot over to Croydon. 20 minutes, half an hour. But
that's not the people that's got money. That's not the clientele they want.
Yeah, that crowd will be very light.
For those of you happy to move to the outskirts of London, and you're happy to go south, Croydon is an up and coming area.
It is now.
The Westfield is going to be there in a couple of years. They're building the Westfield there. They're talking about this festival. They're improving the transport links. Croydon is going to be one of them areas in 10 years' time, similar to certain other areas.
I wonder if they get rid of the trams.
They're not going to get rid of the tram.
Yeah. When I saw the Trump's there, I just said, "This is like
Is it Trump?
world."
Is it
Yeah.
Trump? Yeah, they're not going to get rid of that because that's heavily used as well.
Okay, well, I'm glad that they've seemed to iron out their problems with the shop, because I thought I was really interested in them guys did that, and I was quite happy that they've decided to diversify their businesses and go into something a little bit different. So that's quite good. I'm glad that they're saying that things are running a lot smoother. Fortunately, obviously, the thing about the manager is really, really sad. But if they've got another manager now that's now taking over and doing things, that's really, really good. But I'm glad that they managed to have their say about the gigs thing as well. Because again, gigs is such a big. He's like the big bad wolf in a way of the music industry. Gigs says something, people they're a bit scared to respond and whatever because of the aura that he's got around him. Which I like it. I like his aura.
I don't know this aura,
Because he's known for certain things, isn't it?
I don't know what he's known for.
That's why. But certain people know gigs for certain things, and he's got that persona about him that people obviously have attached to him. And
I'm interested now if I'd be scared if I was in that situation. Because I'm getting to the point in my life where it's like I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not 15 years old and looking at the person that's 20 coming down to my school is going to beat me up. I'm not scared of. It's like, okay, you got something, I'll get something, and we'll got it because I'm about death. I'm about killing people. If you're really here to threaten me, yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm about peace and love. I'm about peace and love.
You said I'm about death.
Yes, but let me finish. But as Jay-Z said, don't let me do it to
Danny,
because I overdo it. So you won't confuse it with just rap music. Yeah. When he talks about I kill an ant with a sledgehammer, that's the type of person I am. That's why I don't want no trauma. I have no beef. I always walk away. I'm always walking away. I'm smiling like, okay, you want beef? Okay, later I'm going. I got my business because there's no middle ground for me. It's if I start it, I don't know where it's gonna end.
Do you feel like now you've got a child, you're more aware of stuff like that, like your mortality, like stuff like maybe before you had nobody to. Well, you obviously still had your family and whatever to feel responsible for, but do you feel like now you've got a child, there's certain things that you would think about in a different way of doing things?
Now you've got dependents.
It happened from when I had a wife.
Okay. What about you? I know you've got a child, but since you've grown up, do you feel differently about your life in a way?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. There's more I want to achieve, and I feel I need to be around to do these things. So I'm very conscious about pushing myself to certain limits or extremes where I'm not going to be able to do certain things I want to do or I aspire to do.
Okay.
So yeah.
How do you mean?
What do you mean? How do I mean?
What do you mean? You're very aware of pushing your huh?
I'm very aware not to get into confrontations or fights or do something stupid or outlandish.
You're not going to be reckless because you're thinking of the long game.
Yeah. I
think since my brother killed himself, it's like it hasn't never allowed me to be reckless in that way.
You?
Yeah. Whenever you see me go,
when you put square up to me, I just said I'll knock you, send you to the hospital, man.
Who?
You
would send me to the hospital.
Of course.
It's wonderful the way you think of things. But anyway, so
I love it.
I'm not as reckless as I was before. I've never been reckless, but since my brother died, I don't want my parents to ever feel like they would have to worry about their child dying or any of that stuff again. So I try my best not to get in any involved in any type of way that they'll be like that. So I think more about them than anything else. If that makes any sense.
I think all of us have come to a point where we don't really want any trouble anymore. We don't want no drama.
I've never wanted drama.
Yeah,
but if you bring it, we will end your lives.
I don't know if I got to that level. I'm still scared of prison, man. I'm scared of prison, bro.
Yeah, but I'm scared of prison, but I'm also wary of the person coming back after I've dealt with them.
That is it.
That's true.
That's it.
So I'd rather you don't come back.
Yeah, I don't want to start any trouble. I don't want to finish any trouble. I don't want any trouble at all. But if it gets to whatever stage it gets to where I feel you might come back with one of these samurai swords or these combat knives, then I have to do it first.
That man are playing so kind about these streets.
Exactly.
That's true.
What they know they're carrying.
So that's why I
Cervantes are on road.
away from all of that. All of that.
There's times when it just finds you in it. But yeah, I get what
I've been fortunate.
Yeah. So I think all of us have
we've
been
blessed.
But then I don't go outside. I'm not outside.
Yeah.
Or if we do, we leave before any drama and we come back before drama starts.
Yeah. It just so happens that we just don't find ourselves in it. I think there's time. Drama attracts drama in it.
You know where like back in the day when we used to rave in what's the one that was in Tottenham?
Temple.
Yeah. If you found trouble in Temple, I didn't know it was coming. Yeah, you idiot. We go to Temple for it. Like, you know,
Stratford Rex as well. Stratford Rex, you know, you stay out to a certain time.
Stratford Rex.
Something's going to pop off at some point.
So nowadays, if you get to the point where it's like, I don't want no trouble. If those places were still, Stratford Rex, as we just drove past it, it's a bloody.
Is it a bingo place now?
No, the bingo place is across the road. It's the trampoline. It's a trampoline place. Can you imagine?
Oh, okay.
It's a trampoline. But anyways, if it was still open now, we wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
If your missus said, I'm going Stratford, whoa. You're going, what?
Which part?
Is there any place that you forbid your woman going?
Another man's penis?
Now, seriously, as a man, have you ever said to your woman, you're not going there? And if there any place that you like, obviously not like to a next man's house or something like that, but she's saying, I'm going here, and you're like, you're not going there, fam. I'm forbidding that.
I think there's a time I know I've told my woman that you can't do this, whatever, but I can't remember what this happened to be. You probably remember more than me because you probably been, you tell your that. But I know there's a time where I said, no, you can't do that.
If I remember that was said by now, I don't remember it.
But I don't remember if it was like doing something or wearing something into a certain place or doing something. I can't remember what it was. But it's not something that I would want to, like, it's not a habit I'd want to keep. And I don't go out with somebody that I feel goes down that road that I have to keep putting my hand out and saying no. You find somebody that you don't usually have to put your hand out and say you can't do that. Just find someone that you're yoked with in it. So,
what about you?
I've now discovered that my missus is actually gangster. Because of where she's from and how she grew up and everything like that, she don't care about nothing. She's ride or die. She will go to the hood.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you telling her.
But I can't tell her that. I goes, where are you going there for? Do you know these places? I goes, no, but they sound dangerous. They are, but I'll still go there. I know what I'm doing. So I'm like, all right, cool. She'll go to townships. You know, you can't go to the townships in South Africa. You don't know my missus from South Africa. The townships are the dangerous place. They're what Hackney used to be. So they're hood. They're dangerous. You get trouble. She'll go to the township rego.
If my woman was the person that was going to the townships before I met her, then she was going to the I can't stop her from going after I've met her.
It's the other way around. She'll be like, don't.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask after.
Like, Webb's, Dat Actor, don't go there. What do you mean? What?
She's telling you.
I'm from the ends, man. No.
Your ends is not these ends.
Yeah, it's not these ends, man.
Because I always say, what, I'm from Hackney, what? No.
Your ghetto is not this ghetto. Your ghetto is not real.
Exactly.
Your ghetto is our high life.
Exactly.
Stupid man.
Don't go there.
How about you? Has your wife ever forbid you to do something?
I can't remember. But there are times where I wouldn't say, let me not say forbid. There's times where she told me she didn't want me to do something. And then that was that. Like a fool's fool, I don't want to do it. And then that was that. Okay. But I can't remember what it is. Because these aren't big things. These are things that when you really sit there and think about it, it's like, yeah, it's sensible. Yeah, you understand.
There won't be a reason why they would say that just for the sake of saying it.
Yeah. She had her reasons, and it's because my wife's so easygoing, you kind of like get to the point where you just, she's gonna be cool. She's gonna be cool. The time when she says no, that's the time when you actually wake up and like, okay, don't ever take the mick because you're with somebody that lets you do what you want. So the minute she says no, you stop doing it, innit?
That would be the type of person that would tell his missus, yeah, I'm just going to go to one of my ex's house to go and make her bed while she's half naked in the bathroom, putting on the fog. I'll be back in a minute. You're the type of person that would say that, thinking that it was all right because, I'm not going to do nothing in it. So what's the problem with that?
And we were just talking about that yesterday, actually, because I dropped a girl home from the event that we were at. So we'll get to that in a minute again. Sorry, because we didn't get around to it again. And that is one thing that my wife actually says she wants me to stop doing.
What, taking randoms home?
Stop taking women home all the time. She said, one day somebody is going to, you're going to catch a case. That's what she said.
Ooh,
you're going to catch a case.
Yes.
No, but it's true though.
She's like, one of these.
Why would you catch a case?
Because it's not, you know what, yeah? Me and Stav are known for taking women home, which is a bad thing in itself, yeah? It
sounds wrong.
It's a bad thing for itself.
Let me take you home.
Any R. Kelly, get your passport. You get your shots. But anyway,
to America.
Yeah, so we're known to do it, innit? So my missus don't like it either. She don't like it when I start taking people home. and stuff like that. She's like, why are you always taking girls home or taking people out? And I'm like, I don't do that. And so recently, as you notice, I don't do that anymore, really. I don't do it as much as I used to.
I don't see you going out.
It's a sign of a respectful
No, but I don't do it.
gentleman.
I don't do it anymore as much because she doesn't like me necessarily going around
I've
taking
toned
me
down
home.
on doing it as well. But you know how bad I feel when I can see the situation is
Yeah.
I should be, and it's like I have to. I feel like a less of a man.
Yeah,
That's what I said, it's a sign of a
I'll
respectful
tell you straight up
gentleman.
now. When I've got the car, let's say me and my missus have driven separate cars, and she's taken the baby and she's gone home, and me and the boys are stuck behind. We got into a nice conversation. We're chatting to some people, which my wife has no problem with chatting to women I've just met or whatever. But it wouldn't be a woman I've just met if I wasn't connected to her somehow. I couldn't meet somebody randomly, not connected to anybody, and then I'm taking you home.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Taking it home. Fair
In this case, they were in a film with Dat Actor, so that was my connection to them, and they lived 20 minutes from my house. I was going in that direction anyway.
Yeah,
so
going in that direction, I might be preference to say, I'm taking
I'm
it home.
going that way. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's we and you both have gone places that I know.
That is what I don't do anymore, because there's somebody that said they live in South, and I just kept my mouth closed.
Yeah.
Then when this one, I said, where do you live? And they told me they live West London, near me. They're like, well, literally you're on the way. I have to pass your house to get to my house. A slight detour, but I have to pass your house.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, I'll take it.
That I don't mind either, because now it's a case of, because me and my missus don't have as much time to spend with each other as much as we usually do. So there is time when she's at home and I've gone out, and I could, even if it's an extra 15 to 20 minutes, I could spend that extra 15 to 20 minutes with her than rather taking this person home. So I'd rather just take, go
Young
back to my
love.
missus. I don't know about young again. But, so yeah, I don't do that as much anymore. But the way that I don't know about your missus, but my missus used to come with the stories as well. You know how these girls are looking at you as some form of this, as some form of that. I'm like,
They're using you.
yeah, in a way. They'll know that if they're out, you will be the one that will take them home. Don't think that they won't think like that. I'm like, oh, come on. Because not everyone of them, but come on, they will think like that.
And that don't even bother me.
I don't mind people thinking that they can get home safe if I'm around. I just don't want you to feel like I'm being used though. I don't want you to ever come out your house thinking, yeah, Stab's gonna drop me home or Wahala's gonna drop me home. Don't do that. Don't come out your yard thinking that's gonna happen.
You can think that, and if you're wrong, then you're wrong.
Yeah,
That's your
don't-
business.
no,
Because
no.
I know if I come out my
Find out
house,
how you're getting home first.
back in the day when I lived because I don't live near you guys anymore. But when I did, I would leave my house and assume one of you people would drop me. If you're all driving,
That's
they're
my
gonna drop me home.
boys, though, innit? That's your
Yeah, but
boys.
So my point is, if somebody's leaving their house and they know Stav, they got my number, they know where I live, and they might not be my girl, yeah, they might not be my girl.
You know what, man? Sometimes, man.
They might not be my girl, but they know me well enough to know Stav is that kind of guy.
They use it for entertainment. I don't know if they want to. No, I'm not having that. For me, I'm not having that. I don't appreciate that. I remember one time my mum as well did the same thing. So there's one auntie that lives round where we live or where the family home is, and every time we go to a party, she's there. She will come and find us to go basically take us home.
Yeah.
So the last time that they was at the party, my mum blatantly, I don't know what she said to this woman, but she blatantly kind of like cock blocked it to say that we weren't going home or somewhere, so we won't take this woman. I said, Mum, what? Is that how you're going? She goes, I don't like the way that she feel like she could just come to my children and we're the one that's going to take her home. I was like, hey, okay, Mum, I didn't know you was like that. She goes, no, I didn't like it. But then when we got near the house and no one else was in the car and it was just us, she was like, I feel bad that we didn't take the woman. I said, you see? Because you could have taken her. It's not like we're going it's not even like we was going out of our way. We actually drove past where the woman lives. But she just didn't like the fact that every time we go somewhere, she will come to find us to take her home. Like, you shouldn't expect that we're going to take you home. You need to know how you're going to get home or use somebody else. Because especially now we don't live there anymore. It's not something that you should suspect that my children are going to take you home. But in my head, if she don't have her own children, I don't know, or they're just not at the party, then, it's not a problem.
We learned this from our dad, by the way.
Yeah.
He's dropping things home.
Yeah, my dad was the original.
It's a certain form of etiquette. So
But that's the thing, because it's strange that I'm looking at, and I'll be like, but wouldn't you want the same thing in return?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just feeling, so that is something that my wife says she don't like, and I still do. But I've toned it down definitely. Like back in the day, I would go to South London. I'm Northwest, and I'm going all the way to South London, dropping some. I'm in Central, dropping somebody to South before I go to Northwest. So now I don't do that, because I can see that, that's adding a whole hour and change to my journey, and my missus don't like it. So I'm going to sit here twiddling my thumbs vexed. But there's times when I'll book the Uber for you or something like that.
Oh, well, I'm not taking it that far, fam. Take your own Uber. I'm not paying for your Uber. You should know how you're going to get home.
Everybody, you can know you're going to get home.
Nah, if you're on the way,
wait,
I'll
that's
drop you.
that's two lots of petrol you're paying for.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine?
Taking money out of your daughter's pocket to give to this woman.
Listen, look, the other day there was a stranger on the street, and I paid for Uber for him to go home.
Him?
Yeah, I did.
What?
This is the thing. Some people can't. It's not about sex either.
But why?
Because he was intoxicated. He seemed like
That's his business.
He was all right. We drove out the house. We were going somewhere. Me, my missus, my daughter. No, I don't think my daughter was with us actually. Yeah, she was in the car. Yeah. So anyway, the man was, the triangles in the middle of the road. He was on the floor. So I've pulled over and I've gone. Yeah, because I'm.
Wait, who and where was his representatives?
The dude is on the floor in the middle of the triangle in the middle of a road. No, Asian dude, Asian Donny. Okay. Yeah. So I've pulled over the car and I said I'm gonna go check on the dude. So I've gone there and the man is off.
Hey Vikram.
Yeah.
He's off his face. That kind of drunk where he kept trying to kiss me. That kind of drunk. Yeah. But as I'm like, where he's like, he didn't know where he was.
But how you managed to tell you how to get the Uber though, innit?
Sorry?
Managed to tell you where to get the Uber.
No, that was me. He didn't ask me to do anything.
How did he get home? That's what I'm saying. If you said I put
him in the Uber and sent him home.
Yeah, but how did he know his address?
Where though?
Yeah, he knew his address.
Exactly.
So you weren't that drunk?
Yeah, drunk people, they don't know their phone number, they know their address. But the thing is, I don't know if I sent him home to beat his wife. Because the way it was talking, like as the conversation went on, because you could tell he had some sort of problems at home. And I didn't know. It got to the point. Yeah, it got to the point where it's like I've now booked the Uber, and I don't know. Did your wife kick you out and that's why you're drunk? But he was so far from home, not so far, but he was like half an hour from his house. So it's not like she just kicked you out. And he had looked like he come from work, and he's telling me his work and blah blah blah, and he's unhappy. He's unhappy and he's depressed, and my wife this, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. And you black, me Asian. I come from where I come from. We brothers. You're like, you're not. I said, okay, yeah.
Really?
That's cool,
my wife bloody banjo.
That's cool. Your wife do this to you? Does your wife? My wife does this to me. She disrespect me. I bought her from. I'm like, whoa, like, whoa, okay.
One of them offset.
That same face. I was like, so I did.
But you said it there anyway.
I tried. Because he, as far as I could see, he kept falling down on the floor. So yeah, I found him on the floor. It wasn't the first time he was on the floor. He kept getting up and dropping down. I'm buckling in his trousers. Why is it when you get drunk, these people turn gay? What is it about?
I love it.
That's why his wife don't want him in the house.
Exactly.
You lied to me. You don't touch me, Vikram. You don't touch me. Every time I see you, every time I see you looking at Annie Road, you don't look at me.
You banjo, you bloody banjo.
You don't look at me. You don't touch me. We don't have no children.
You bloody fuck. Fuck you, bloody fuck.
Who's that cricketer? What's his name? Khan.
Amir.
Oh, but okay, we can have the name. He's all the same. Amir Khan, you look at Amir, you don't care about me.
You look at Amir, you don't like. Yeah. You want Amir Khan.
That was Wahala and that actor.
Yeah, that's right.
Stavros sat here quietly.
No, he didn't.
But anyway, I put in the Uber and sent him home.
All right, I've done that one time.
It's got nothing to do with men, women,
I put someone in an Uber home.
And the missus didn't mind about that.
No, I haven't put somebody in the Uber home, but I've taken somebody home before. So one time, me, my mum, and my fiance, I think, was all coming back from the hospital one time. And there was one old elderly black woman that seemed to be struggling to get to the bus stop. So my mum, we were all looking at her, she was like taking her time, because my mum was walking faster than her. That showed you how much she was struggling, because my mum's got arthritis in both legs and she doesn't walk fast. And she just looked like she was in a lot of pain. So she might have just come out of the hospital and nobody was there to take her back. So we said to her, we started to drive, and I said, that woman don't look like she can make it. I was like,
Mummy disagreed straight away.
I was like, yeah. So my fiance was like, yeah. So like, you think I should take her home or find out where she's going? She's like, mum goes, yes, take her home. So I said to the woman, hi. She's like, hi. I said, where are you going? She goes, I'm going so and so. I said, do you want us to take you home? She's like, oh no. I said, no, don't worry. I see that you're struggling a bit. My mum's in the car. It's not like we're gonna come and I know you could be thinking, but you can see that my mum's there with us as well. And so I think you might have been in the hospital at the same time as my mum. So I'll just drop you home. So she said, okay, thank you. So we dropped her home, and she was like, God bless you, and blah blah blah. And I thought, a good deed and whatnot. Me doing that. Well, now I haven't had my what's it called? Karma
reward.
Back. No, God, they were coming. Give me that reward for that.
Man, it's coming.
I did the same thing.
Oh, thank God.
Driving home from work in the middle of the day. Woman carrying 2 bags. When they're crunched over, it looks like they should have 3 or 4 crutches. Yeah. And I stopped the car because I was on a one-way system. I couldn't. She said, "Where do you live?" And she's like, "Oh, I just live just there." It wasn't just there, So I said, "All right, it's fine." I said, "All right, I'll carry the bags." And I carried the bags for her home, but it was like a 10-minute walk because she walked. In fact, it was just there, but she walked so slow that it was the longest walk, and so I carried the bags. I took her home, and that's the thing.
Dead man walking.
I think as a culture, we need to
do that a lot more.
When I say culture, I don't mean black. I mean as just,
society.
Yeah, society. That's a better word.
Yeah,
Society.
but we don't. Society doesn't really care for the elderly and the aged that much.
Maybe
as
not.
They should.
But
do.
if you look after each other, then obviously everybody looks after each other.
Each one teach one, man.
But
One hand wash the other, both wash the face.
You never know that.
I want somebody to do that for my mum one day. Like our mum, she fell down the other day, hurt her side. It's like she said everybody came to look after her. People picked her up. This is a few months ago when she fell. She mashed up her side.
I can't remember. I don't remember her telling me too much about the story.
Yeah, people came, helped her, picked her up, blah, got chairs, blah blah blah.
Was this local?
This is the ends, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Your mum's known in the ends. Even my mum's known in the ends. People say, so your mum, like, cool.
Like, my dad's known in the ends.
Yeah, our parents they're known in the ends.
Your mum is outside. My mum don't go outside too tough. Bro.
Yeah, my mum,
But she goes from there to there. It's
Yeah,
not
but
like
that's a community thing, innit? So she sees a lot of people coming in and out.
that roams the streets.
Yeah,
like
that one was
like alley cat.
That one there was a street. That's not everybody on the road, boy.
Yeah.
Everybody owed money, boy. Mister. Yeah.
streets.
But anyway, all right. Let's go into something else, man. What's going on with your docket this week?
All right, then we got this Cardi B thing. Cardi B and Offset.
Fuck Cardi B, man.
Yeah.
Why do you like to talk about this stupid woman?
Listen,
What did I say? I don't want to talk about Cardi B, but he said there's another angle for us to talk about the Cardi B.
exactly.
But
Let's let him land in it.
Before we get into
Take
that,
my
then,
phone,
because there are topics that happen in mainstream society, in the public realm, that we touch on, but I feel that a lot of other podcasts in our kind of genre touch on, but I believe that we go at it from an angle that is specific and unique to us. So the topic in this instance, so basically we use the celebrities.
cough over there.
Yeah, we use the celebrities as the foundation to build our own personal mansion on. So this foundation is
Talk your talk, bro.
Cardi B and Offset are married. Offset keeps cheating on Cardi B. It keeps getting put out there. Now she has broken up with him publicly, right? He has been requesting to go back with her, and recently, while she headlined a show, I think she's the first woman to headline this festival, whatever it is. Let me find the name of it.
Show.
A show. All right.
No, I'm just saying I don't know the name, so I'm just calling it show. Keep going.
It's called Rolling Loud,
Okay.
and I believe she's the first woman to ever headline it.
Cardi B.
As she's doing her set, some stagehands come on and put "Please Take Me Back, Cardi" on these big, like I don't know what you want to call it.
Lighted up letters.
I don't think they're lit up, but anyway, either way, there's just this big, massive sign saying "Please Take Me Back, Cardi," and Offset walks on with a bunch of roses, with a mic in his hand as well. By the way, basically saying something on the mic. You know, I'm sorry.
Take it back.
Yeah. She doesn't talk on the mic, and you can see that she's not happy, and she dismisses him. In essence, they're there talking for about 40 seconds, and then he walks away with his head between his tails. The stagehands come, remove the thing, and then the DJ, who seemed to be in on the act, because when it came out, like, make a shout out for Offset. Whatever. Anyways, then this thing starts again, but you can see she was quite clearly not happy about this.
Visibly shaken.
Yeah, not visually, but it took her off her game. Some people are saying it's fake and that they think it's staged, but as far as I'm concerned, the way she acted, that didn't look fake at all. She really looked like, what the hell just happened? And when this thing started again, she's like what the hell just happened?
K-Fruit dripping.
All right, but the feedback has been many artists, Mel, are saying, listen, take this dude back.
Well, it's like T.I. That's
More than just here.
keeps cheating.
Yeah. Take this dude back. Yeah,
No for cheating.
All right. Take this dude back. He just did a thing. You know, people are going to make mistakes. It's people like you that are breaking up homes. Yeah. You have a child. He loves his child. Take him back. Then you have another faction of people that are saying, this is, what's the word I use? Harassment.
Yeah.
And the organizers of the show, who obviously helped with all this stuff.
And abusive. Harassment and abusive. Those are two words you used.
Well, I think abusive, harassment was the word that people actually use. It's harassment. This is actual harassment. You can't go to a woman's place of work, in essence, unasked for, unwelcome, and just involve yourself in what they're doing. Cut their thing short. a big stage in this woman's career because she's a new artist at the end of the day, headlining, and then you're messing up her thing, taking away from her and making it about you or us and whatever.
Women love that one. You men always taking things away from us and making it about you.
In this case, I can see it because it is about him. Please take me back.
Yeah.
So you're taking away from her and adding it onto you. And I want to look at the taking back discussion. So forget the thing about
should she take him back?
Yeah, because obviously if whatever. Also, when he walked off, they were like F you. Like there was a chant. I can't remember what the exact chant was, but they were cussing him. And Cardi B afterwards went on social media and just defended him outright. Said, I might not be happy with him. I might have broken up with him, but I'm not gonna have you insult the father of my child. She kept calling him baby daddy, not husband. He's gone now. Your husband title's gone. My baby daddy. He loves his daughter and he's there for his daughter at least. So I'm not gonna have all you randoms just insulting him. So she was good. But anyways, this thing about harassment. Do you see that as harassment, or do you see that by all means let him try his shot? He loves the woman. He's made a mistake. He's trying to make amends. And this, they're celebrities. They do everything. She's lived her life for the last 5, 6, 7 years in public. By all means, if he's going to make up in public, he cheated him. The cheating came out in public. Let him beg for forgiveness in public.
Which a lot of people do say. I'm going to say this. If you was at work and a male person that's, an admirer of a woman sent them flowers to their workplace, would you say that was harassment?
No.
It's like in the same realm as that then?
If sent her or came with flowers?
Either way. Because if they like you, it's romantic.
That's the point.
If they don't like you, then it's harassment.
It comes down to the woman. If she was feeling you and she liked you, then they'd be like, "Oh, this was really nice," and everybody would, applaud them. If she didn't like him,
then it's harassment. So if he went on stage now and came with the flowers and said, "Cardi, skeet skeet, I love you, skeet skeet," and she said, "All right, obviously I'm gonna take you back." And then they both started crying, they kissed, and then they did the same song, do it or something together. Everybody would be going, "Oh, this is amazing." Some other people would be like, "Well, why did you take him back?" But they wouldn't be calling it harassment. Because he got the desired effect and she got what she kind of wanted. So I think that it is, I think it's very unprofessional of him to do that because he's another artist and he should know that this is a professional thing that she's doing. And as a respect for her profession, he shouldn't have done that.
You say that
for me,
but that's like because I didn't know about this performance, and I wouldn't have known about it if he didn't come on stage.
Well, so it's not making a difference. You didn't pay a ticket for it regardless. So the people that's paid a ticket, they've paid money to go see Cardi, and now you've kind of cut a set short to do your nonsense.
All of them would have been happy if that happened the day before or the day after. They would be vexed that they weren't there to see
potentially,
themselves.
but it's a professional thing, and it could be messing with the girl's money. Obviously, I'm assuming the owners or the people, not the owners, whoever are running the show was involved. As I said to you in the car, they both shared the same management as well.
I think they definitely were because I think they tweeted something before it happened, and then they deleted the tweet once they saw the harassment.
Okay, so because they're both underneath the same management, so the managers are not necessarily going to be have a problem with the fact that the Offset's doing this as well. So is it something? I would say that it's not something I would say is a good thing to do, and I don't think he should have done it. I wouldn't necessarily say it was harassment unless he's been constantly doing this, but he's been doing other things as well. He's been going on other things like sending out voicemails on Instagram and all of this stuff. I think he went on another show with 21 Savage to do the same thing, beg her back with 21 Savage for some strange reason. He's going on numerous places, keeps begging the woman back on.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So he keeps begging her back on all these different places. So
I can see harassment then. If the woman's telling you no means no.
Yeah, that's why they're saying it's harassment. But as I said, it depends on the outcome. Because if she said that she was happy with him doing that, or she was like, "Oh my God, Offset, my baby father," and kissed him, then you wouldn't be calling it harassment. We'll say that he did the right thing. And if he actually truly thought that, as my wife, this is what I think she would have wanted, then I wouldn't have necessarily thought it was harassment. In the end, he knows his wife better than the rest of us should. So he should know what she likes or what she doesn't like. Apart from cheating.
I won't bother asking the actor, seeing as he looks like he wants to sleep right now. Would you?
I care very little for both of them.
It's not about them though. This is
about
the point.
Harassment
and the situation.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so you, Mr. the actor. Yeah?
Yes.
You're at an award show.
Yes.
Award ceremony.
Yes.
And your missus that you broke up with
Yes.
decided that she was going to come on the award show.
Yes.
And just interrupt the award show when you're getting your Oscar.
Yes.
Yes. You get your Oscar, yeah?
Yes.
And they come on the show and she goes, "Oh, I just want to, I know you're getting your Oscar and everything, but I really love you and I'm really upset about, I really love you and I'm sorry what I did to you that time. blah, 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 blah. And I don't want to ruin your moment, but I want to tell you how much I love you. Can you please take me back?
Yes.
Would you feel like that person has harassed you?
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
But the people that are running the award ceremony will not allow the person to come in. And
But they've done that. They just that is a Kanye moment. It's a Kanye situation. They've come up, and like security just didn't stop them before they got there because they know that you've got a link between each other. It's your ex-wife, or not even ex. You are still husband and wife. He's just following you up on the. I mean, she's just following you up on the stage, and she just suddenly says that to you. Would you take that as an harassment?
You come and try and mess up my moment. No, go away.
So that's what you think it is. That's on a moment. Do you think that's what this guy was doing?
From the discussion you two had, it already seems like the organizers of the event that this occurrence occurred knew that it was happening, knew that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they were in on the job. They were in on the gig.
Wow, like it's a robbery.
It is a robbery. You're in on the job, son.
Yeah, that'll be my time.
They knew it was going to happen, so it wasn't harassment as far as I'm concerned. In that light, it wasn't harassment.
Whoa. So because somebody else is involved, it's not harassment.
They're all in on the gig, right? So they're all in on the job,
Including Cardi?
This so-called stupid woman, right? She's there and she's doing her music and whatnot. Did she run off the stage? Did she cry? Did she do anything of that?
When you see the video, she was visibly like, "What is going on here?"
Well,
Still her husband. He's not afraid of the man, is she?
She could have been acting. Who knows?
She can act, but that one looked like she like, "What is going on?"
Again, this is all publicity for both of them.
In a way, yeah, I still agree with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Before you want to call it harassment and it's a bad situation, look at the other side of what it could be. It's publicity. She's in the news. She wants to stay relevant. He wants to stay relevant. They want fans. They want their numbers up. Everything like that. And because the company or the organization that did the event were in on it as well.
Yeah, because I've never heard of whatever it's called.
Everybody's happy. Quid's in. We've gone viral. We've got our numbers up. We're going to make money out of this. Everybody's happy. It's going to be talked about for however long it's going to be.
This is the thing. I tried to take it away from the two artists. I'll just use them as the basis. But you're taking it back to them too.
I'm taking it back because it will.
But you don't want to talk about them too.
But it will go back to them too. That's the thing. Cough over there.
I'm trying to cough away from the mic. Sorry, people. I'm sick, man. I've been sick all day.
Yeah, thank you for giving us that. All right then. So tell us about this event we went to yesterday, Mr. Dat Actor.
You tell us about it. You know.
Please.
Bro, you're more involved in the women of the lens
Please,
than us.
please.
You might as well be a woman.
As people that came to witness an event, speak on your experience, and then I'll speak on what. The whole thing
you know
was
what? As I
about.
said, women of the lens. Is it only about directors?
It's about women in production. So yeah,
Because
women
you obviously-
not in front of the camera, more behind the camera.
Because clearly you wrote the film. It's your film.
I wrote it. Yeah.
It's your film, but yeah, it was a woman of the lens.
Since when is they call the writer of the film? They usually call the director of the film the film.
Yeah. I wrote it and I produced it, but I had a female director, I had a female makeup artist, I had a female production manager. My locations scout was a female as well.
Because the thing I said that is
Your director of photographer was a man.
My director of photography was a man, yeah.
because the thing about that is the
2 men, 5 women. What?
The situation that I saw in the conversations, a lot of the questions they were asking, almost like should have been answered by you.
It should have been, yeah. But my director knew not to bring me up and dealt with the questions.
Well, you couldn't go up because it wouldn't make so sense if he's called Women of the Lens and then you just pop up.
Not necessarily.
What do you mean not to bring you up? Why?
Why?
Anyway, all of this needs a foundation before we start going into this stuff.
Yesterday we went to an event called Women of the Lens, and in Women of the Lens it was about women in production of films, and they showed numerous films throughout the day, and they've been doing it for the weekend, by the way. So it was a Saturday and Sunday event where they showed numerous films produced, written, directed by women. But the actor also had a film that he wrote there and produced there that was directed by someone that's been on our show before
and starred in.
Oh yeah, and starred in with a lady that's been on our show before.
Yes, Lorel Jones.
And we went to go watch because Simple Simon. Me and Stavros are very bad friends. I don't necessarily go to all of the actors' figures when he does things. But
No, I'm not claiming.
no.
No.
You know, I like to put things off.
You talk for yourself, because if a man gives me the proper connect, I'll go. It's this time he actually did it properly, and then we went.
He still didn't even do it properly because he only gave us half of the thing.
But either way,
and she was cussing you about that as well. But anyway,
Wait, what half did I not give you?
because you only gave us you didn't give us the thing for the whole show. You gave us for your section.
You wanted to go to the whole show?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have minded. Maybe I wouldn't mind having the option.
I got no
Why didn't you
problem.
go today?
Because I didn't want to go today. I went yesterday because of you.
You had an option to go today.
No, I didn't.
No,
I had
we're
somewhere
doing
to go.
stuff.
But you had an option to go.
We're doing stuff. We had
But
family
you had
business.
something else to do. So exactly. But you said if you had the option.
Yeah, but yesterday I didn't have anything else to do throughout the day.
And you came to it.
Yeah, but I could have come to more. Are you really arguing about the fact that you just didn't give us the thing?
Damn it!
You did leave afterwards. You could have stayed longer.
No, I couldn't stay any longer after
How
that.
does anyone put up with this man live?
So anyway, so with Woman of the Lens, and we watched 3 films there. One of them called No Shade.
Yep.
The second one was called something,
Colorblind.
Colorblind. And then the next one was called,
Some long
I woke up this morning. Dead.
the title was longer than the film.
That was looking at the film.
You know that one person's credits was actually longer than your film?
Yeah.
I was shocked. I think the Colorblind one.
The colorblind one. That credit took forever.
But okay, so we watched the 3 films. No Shade was about shadeism in the UK with regards to black ladies and dating, and black ladies with having problems finding men due to the fact that their shades are
Darkies
and stuff like that. For me, it was a good film, but me and Stavros blatantly laughed at the most inappropriate times that we were supposed to be laughing, but we find it very entertaining.
You were the talk of the event today.
Hey?
Because I got feedback from Miss Laura. You know Stavros and Wahala. All I could hear from them was throughout the film was them cackling and making noise in the background.
Because it was funny.
Why didn't you tell me to in my face?
Because it came up from other people. That's why.
But are we not supposed to laugh?
No. You lot were very vocal. You were heard more than anything else.
No, even at the question and answer stage.
Very vocal again.
Yeah. No, when I mentioned, what did I say? That's the first time in a long time that I've sat in a cinema and I wanted to shout at the screen.
That's good.
It is good. I'm complimenting your film. Because I didn't cuss the film. I didn't say it's rubbish. Get off. I'm laughing. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's wicked, man. Like,
I was fully invested in that film.
It's a good film.
Literally, not figuratively.
I was fully invested in that film.
Literally on the edge of my seat.
It is a very
I
good.
was all hungover like this.
Yeah,
Like,
I was fully invested in that film. I came back to the missus and I explained to her about the film, and I liked a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that's how my missus.
I will say
wish you were there.
It was a very good story. I don't think it was very well executed.
It could have been better executed. I agree with you on that, but the story was good, and the story kept me gripped.
Yeah,
And
good story.
There was one thing that disturbed me a little bit. One of the main characters was meant to be a barber, and his haircut was always rubbish. I just didn't understand. But it's even right down to the wedding, it wasn't good. But anyway, that's head on there. Big up Slider. But that's head on there.
But he had no other barbers in his shop.
I don't know. It's like somebody in it. Just somebody cut his hair.
Go on.
But anyway, I really enjoyed that film. It was almost 2 hours long, and I didn't even think it was almost 2 hours long.
When it's like it's 10 minutes short of 2 hours, I was like, hey.
It was, yeah, some things were very dramatic, like the woman burning the names and whatnot. I just thought, what kind of juju is this? But the Danny character, everybody kind of knows a Danny character in a way.
So explain the Danny character.
So Danny is basically the best friend of the main character, who's dark skinned. Her and Danny have been friends since they were 18, since they got to university, and I think they're now in their early 30s. And basically, she's in love with Danny, and Danny kind of loves her too, but Danny don't like darkies, so he's not involving himself with that woman, basically. That's the way he described her, basically. He doesn't like her, she's too dark for him, he likes lighties, so he's always going for lighties. Again, that's his term,
So
not mine.
he's aesthetically shallow.
Yeah, so he basically would always dismiss her and find the lightest good-looking girl that he could find around.
It's not like she was throwing herself at him and he was like, no.
No, okay, because partially that was her fault.
He was just looking past her.
Yeah, because she never, out of her own mouth, said to him that she liked him until very late on. But
Well, don't spoil film, man.
okay, but you get the gauge that he should have known anyway. But so he's kind of like that. He only likes light-skinned girls. He had such stereotypes of the women that was in his life or the women around him. So light-skinned girls are like this, dark-skinned girls are like that. And you kind of know a Danny.
Yeah, one of the funny bits was when he said that because he's now hooked up with somebody who's Portuguese.
Yeah, half Portuguese.
Yeah, a Portuguese. So one of them exotic-looking chicks, and with the ringlet, long hair. And he's like, bro, did you know that? Did you know that he's wear weave? I thought that was only that. I think a dark-skinned chicks did, and I thought that was funny because there are people like that as well. And yeah, so
a lot of ill-informed people about life, man. So it was a good film. I enjoyed it. I really thought it was something that I would like to see. I would like to see it with more of a budget, basically.
Yeah,
more of a budget.
That's a nice way of putting it.
But yeah, it was good. It was good.
I called it a Nollywood film, a British Nollywood film.
Yeah. It's a Netflix film. It could be on Netflix and be uncool, and people will watch it and they'll be like, "Oh, I watched this film on Netflix."
It's good to talk about as well. But that's why I wanted my missus there, because I would want to talk about it when
Yes, because there was conversations I was having with my missus regarding the film that obviously she hadn't watched, but there's conversations in there that you can have. And I think it was really, she's touched on a lot of different things in society in that one film.
No, she did.
And I said a lot of stuff to her regarding, I would love to see what happened with this avenue, and Steph said, I'd love to see what happened with this character. So there's other characters, like even Danny. I wanted to see what happened with Danny as well. Like, you're left at the end of your edge of your seat at the end, because it kind of it finishes at a good point, but enough for you to say what is gonna happen next. What's part 2?
And I think that's a good thing about films or productions or anything that comes out like that. If it leaves you, one, invested in the characters, and 2, wanting to know how their story continues or ends, which gives writers and producers opportunity to say, right, we can continue this story. We can do a sequel. We can do this, that, and the other.
I was definitely interested in what happened after.
The second film, Colorblind, was executed fantastically.
Yeah.
There's only one part of that film that I said was a bit bad, is you can see the voiceover at the
dialogue,
end.
yeah.
Right at the end. But apart from that, everything else was executed really, really well. It was shot really, really well.
The actors were
really, really good.
Yeah, very good story. Very
good. So yeah, and it was only about 10 minutes, but that 10 minutes, I thought it was a really, really good 10 minutes. I enjoyed that film. I didn't talk as much about that film as I did the first film, because there wasn't as much to talk about.
Yeah, it was
very linear.
It was a start to finish, and it tied itself up at the end.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, because it involved so few characters as well.
Yeah,
it just made sense. It made sense, and it was a nice little slice of life.
5 characters,
but it was executed really well.
Yeah,
looked good, directed good, acted good.
It's funny because there was that editing mistake towards the end, the sound mistake, and some of the editing choices, like right towards the beginning, you could see how they kind of got less and less
care.
Because
I just want to get this out of the way, bro.
There's stuff they did in the beginning. They're like, wow, some shot, pop, and then in the middle, it just was normal.
Like the budget left,
and then by the end,
left.
By the end,
somebody they had no time to edit.
By the end, it was turning into Chinese dubbing business.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that film, and then the end came the trailer.
Are you calling my film?
Yes. So that's how long it was. It was a 2-minute. It was.
Let the actor talk about it.
What is it? What is that type of film called? Because it must have a particular name because of the shortness of the film.
No, it's just a short film.
Okay, because it was literally 2 minutes.
2 minutes long.
But
when we said,
but it's a poem though. It's a music video, really.
When we said the credits for one film was longer than the actor's film, we meant it.
I think it's more of a music video because of the fact it's a poet. It's a poem, and it's just I've got visuals on top of the poem. So
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's in the advert.
Wow.
Stay away.
Not even an ident.
Listen, even a trailer is longer than.
Yeah, it's true.
No, you can have 2-minute trailers.
And you can have 3-minute trailers.
And unfortunately for us, because we came
2-minute films and 3-minute films.
Because we was on time, we saw the ending before anything else as well.
Oh yeah.
So you saw the ending of what?
Your film.
Yeah.
Because you came in on time.
Yeah. They was testing it, and they just showed us.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So they was like, sorry, you're gonna say
they were
like,
testing it.
Like,
stupid people.
But anyway, yeah, your film was good as well. Very visually good.
Thank you.
So tell us about it.
Yeah, explain, man. Tell us how it went, how you, how long it took you to do.
Do you know what this is? All right, I saw a poster. Exactly. No, I saw there was a GIF that was going around. It has neon light and said, "I woke up wanting to kiss you" or something like that.
Yeah,
and that was the inspiration. That was clearly it, and it sparked an idea to write something around it. But there's 2 other stories to the whole thing. So the fact that you saw 2 minutes is the ending of more of a story.
Okay, so you're gonna have more coming.
There's more coming.
Can I ask why we're not in any of your films?
Because I don't like you.
I think I can act well.
I can act better than you. That's for damn sure.
Me or him?
Both of you, to be honest with
you.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about you actually, but him, yeah.
You. That's because you're the man that can do everything, apparently, yeah?
I believe I could act well, but...
Do you think that you can act well, or do you think that you can be yourself?
You know that, right?
Remember, I've done this in front of... this is something I've done before.
But you can't even remember anything.
What did you do before? You've acted before?
Yeah, only like for... in college, not like on
the main stage.
Yeah, not in front of cameras. As actually, people are going to see.
And you remembered your lines?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
You don't even remember whether you remembered your lines.
This is what I'm saying. I'm talking college. Well, I was 17. I mean, it's over 20 years ago now.
Does that mean your brain doesn't work past over 20 years?
Bruv, do you not know me?
No.
That's why we're asking whether or not you knew the lines in the first place.
No, I don't think I'd be
What's
good
your name?
It's better you ask what's your name. I'm not good at remembering lines. I'm not good at remembering anything. But I'm talking about the acting part. I reckon I can do. Bruv, I was in acting class with you.
Oh yeah, I forgot you two went to acting class.
We did, but you're not good at delivering dialogue.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's get this all out on the podcast right now. So hold on. So in acting class, you felt that he couldn't deliver.
His delivery of dialogue was very poor.
In what way?
As in, one, he couldn't remember his lines fully.
Okay.
Two, his delivery wasn't convincing.
Oh, so you don't think it's good? I think Stav would be a good actor if he got to play himself.
If he got to play himself, yeah. But then you're not acting if you're playing yourself.
Yeah, you just be yourself.
Just be you. If we put a camera on you and just do you.
Because Denzel Washington, Denzel Washington is Denzel Washington in every film.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Denzel Washington pretty much is Denzel Washington in every film.
Come on.
Everybody has different sides to them, yeah? Okay, the one thing...
I guarantee it.
The one film...
Every film he says that. I guarantee it.
The one film that Denzel Washington is not Denzel Washington that I can think of top of my head is that Esquire film that he came out recently.
Okay.
That's where he was completely different.
Do you mean Equalizer?
No.
Esquire.
Even Equalizer...
Oh, Jim, outside of the lawyer film.
He's not himself in Equalizer.
Outside of the fighting part, but it's not him.
But how do you know him? You don't know him. That's the point.
Touche.
His character is the same in every film.
I don't know. He's a cool guy. Yeah, I get it, but I don't know if I'm doing the
You
same
could take
character.
his character from one film and it could be another.
Well, is that why Training Day got the thing that is? Because he's not the same. He's not a bad guy in Training
He
Day.
wasn't exactly the same in Fences, though.
No, he's not. Oh yeah, he was kind of a bad guy in Fences as well.
Hey, that's spoiler territory.
He wasn't a bad guy in Fences.
Kind of, he is. But I think Training Day.
Moonlight's still better than Fences.
No, it's not. Training Day is when I watched Training Day last night. So I just because I saw somebody put up the snippet of "Get guy and cut shit on me." I said, I'm gonna watch Training Day again. I forgot how good Training Day was, and I forgot it was actually only one day. Like all of this stuff happened in one day.
Regular film.
You forget Snoop Dogg was in it?
I forgot Snoop Dogg. Then I remember when I saw him rolling down the hill with the wheelchair. That was entertaining. I forgot Dr. Dre was in it as well.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Dre was a cop.
I forgot.
A corrupt and crooked cop, but
Yeah, Dr. Dre's not a bad actor, by the way. I've seen him in a couple of things. He's not been bad in everything I've seen him in. But yeah, it was interesting to watch the film again. And I was watching it thinking, okay, I'm going to look at Denzel because obviously now I've seen Denzel as a bad guy in the past because of Training Day. Let me look at him again. And I can understand why he got the Oscar that he got for that film, but he still should have got it for other ones.
You seen him as a bad guy in the past?
No, because I've seen Training Day already. So I'm rewatching Training Day again. So I've seen him as a bad guy. It's not a shock to me now to see him as a bad guy.
Okay.
So I'm watching it again.
He should have got it for Fences.
He should have got it for Fences. He should have got it for Malcolm X.
Oh yeah.
The Oscar wasn't around.
He could have got it for American Gangster.
Yeah, should have got it for American Gangster.
I don't think so. I don't know what was there that year, but easily there could have been something better than his performance in American Gangster.
I think nearly every film he's done, he should have won an award for. He should have got an Oscar for.
Every
film he's done, he should have.
Sometimes there's things that you say, you really have to sit there.
It was a very good performance in Equalizer.
Yeah, but not enough Oscar worthy.
Yeah, I think it was Oscar worthy. What, Equalizer 1 or 2?
Definitely not 2.
Not 2.
Grief. Man actually said 1 or 2, like it makes any difference.
No, I'm talking about the performance. His performance.
His performance is really good. Like even the way that he's very structured, the way he puts his plays down.
That's why you can't be a good actor because you don't understand the technology.
And he's full out. Yeah, exactly. So the stuff like that that makes him special. But I don't think he's Oscar worthy for Equalizer.
He's a top tier actor. But there are times like when Mahershala Ali won his Oscar. There's one recently on Twitter. Somebody put out, "What's your best scene where there's been no talking, just a physical scene?" And there's two things that I thought of. One of them was in the film about Spotlight, and Spotlight is about the church people molesting the children. And
I don't think I've seen that before.
You haven't seen Spotlight?
No.
It's a wicked film. Well, that won Oscars as well. Anyways, so it's about the Catholic Church in Boston or something in America, X amount of years ago, and about how a newspaper did an expose exposing how the Catholic Church had en masse had been molesting children and covering it up.
Okay.
All right. Now there's a scene where one of the journalists found one of the children, but as an adult, and they went to dinner. He stood him down, and then he said, "I know." I said, oh, blah blah blah. I said, "I want to talk about something," and then I can't remember, but he basically said, "I want to talk. I want to talk about Pastor John." And the way the man looked across from the table, I said, it was just. He didn't say anything. but it was so much in
Emotion
that.
was there.
It was wicked. It's like everything changed. I said that man should win an Oscar for that 2 seconds because he wasn't in the film before or after that. It was just that bit. And then in Moonlight, Marsha Ali was the drug dealer, and he had a scene with the young boy. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't watched it, but there's a bit where he says something. The boy asked the drug dealer something. He answers, and then something happens after that, and he doesn't say nothing. Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
It's on the kitchen table.
On the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Oh my! That is why he won the Oscar. I'm telling you, there's all the stuff that happened before that. There was nothing. There was no reason for him to win an Oscar. It was that one.
What about the water scene?
That was really good. That was really good.
That's
that
the
was
scene
really
that they
good.
always talk about.
He won it for that bit. I'm telling you now. Just go and watch that bit. Watch that scene. You can find it on YouTube. He won the Oscar for that one scene. It was fantastic. And my homegirl that was in it, who's delicious and beautiful, she was wicked as well. She's a wicked actress.
Yeah, she's very good. I think one scene,
Janelle Monáe, by the way.
one scene that I like where there was not much talking in it, or there was talking, but the bit you could show the emotion is at the end of Fresh. When he goes to meet the dad, and the dad's like shouting at him for something, and then he's just there.
Yeah.
And you can see it, and he's like, "Well, that for me."
Fresh is a film that everyone needs to see. It's another one of these films that I don't think a lot of our listeners have seen Fresh.
Big up Mr. Vance, because yesterday on the Twitter he said, "What film should I watch?" Yeah, and it come to my head that what film should I watch? And the first one that always comes to my head when somebody asks me, "What film should I watch?" is always Whiplash. Have you seen Whiplash? No, watch Whiplash.
Why Whiplash?
Because I think it's one of the best films I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's so fantastic.
Like, it's not my favorite film of all time. My favorite film of all time is Goodfellas. But if somebody says to me, "What film should I watch?" I'm not necessarily going to run and say, "Have you watched Goodfellas?" But I will say, "Have you watched Whiplash?"
The girl we was with yesterday, she said she just watched Goodfellas. She just happened to bring that up.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine? I've just watched Goodfellas. It's all right, isn't it? I
all
was
right,
like, have you seen Casino? She's like, no, what's that?
No, my days.
Like, watch Casino. Anyway, sorry, go on.
But yeah, Whiplash is the first one that comes to my mind.
That's interesting.
Always.
And I think the film is fantastic. I cannot think of better, right off the top of my head now, I don't know of a better ending to a film than Whiplash. Because like, my favourite film, Field of Dreams, wicked ending, very emotional, Goodfellas. Well, Goodfellas ain't got the best ending in the world anyway, but they are wonderful, wonderful films. But the end of Whiplash, when that film finished, I remember watching that in the cinema by myself, half empty screen, and the film finished, and even though it's half empty, everyone just sat there.
Yeah.
Nobody moved.
Because it was fantastic.
And I wanted to stand up and applaud.
Yes.
That is...
Why didn't you?
Bloody great film.
Because I'm not in Nigeria.
Amazing
Because
film.
in Nigeria we would have done that. So, yeah. So, okay.
So what film, if somebody says to you, you go on Twitter tonight and you see somebody pop up, Mr. Vance pops up and says, "What film should I watch, guys?" What would you say?
It depends who it is. Your age, your race.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say 30-year-old black guy from London.
I would say Fresh.
Fresh
is, I would say, I'll tell you watch Fresh before, and if you're a film person.
Okay.
If you're a film person, then maybe Whiplash is something you should see. But I like, Fresh is a nice place for a black youth to, that's something.
Okay.
That'll resonate with you.
Yeah, but then if you're talking, you're being very specific because obviously you want to know what's your genre. Are you horror, comedy, whatever?
No.
Yeah,
that's
but
what you think so everybody should watch.
Yeah, because I can tell everyone watch Fences, but I know people are not going to watch.
Yeah.
But what
not
do
gonna
you?
enjoy Fences.
Whether or not they enjoy it or not, it's what you. It comes to my brain and says, "What film should I watch?" Not, don't care about the person.
No, I don't.
You say to yourself, "Okay, well, I'm telling you now. I want to know what film you think everybody should watch. Then maybe I should word it that way."
Yeah, but my brain don't work like that. Because
Okay, don't worry.
Don't worry, let people talk. I don't. Oh, you didn't say something I wanted to hear, so don't worry about it.
You're not answering the question, are you?
You don't know that yet.
Okay, go on.
Sorry. Anyway, that I've been monopolizing the conversation.
I will tell a lot of men to watch Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Gone Girl's another fantastic
Why men have to
film.
watch it, and why is it directed at the men?
Because it's how a woman acts around a man that she is unhappy with and wants to get back.
Bruv, that's a bit of an extreme way of a woman acting. You can't say that's how women act. I
said a woman, not all women. A woman.
Very, 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 very few women.
I said a woman.
I
didn't say women's. I said a woman.
Okay. Hopefully
For
that's what.
fuck's
Hopefully
sake,
that's what
bro.
you said. Because if it's not,
I said that's how a woman acts.
I'm gonna rewind.
A woman.
All right, okay. All right, so watch
bread.
Gone Girl, because this is how a woman acts when she's upset with a man and wants to get him back or get back at him.
Yes.
Okay.
Have
Anything
you?
about the quality of the film?
Very good film. No, very well written, very well acted. It's a very good film.
Did you watch Sharp Objects?
I haven't watched Sharp Objects.
Oh,
I don't even know what's that.
my God.
I don't know that film.
So Sharp Objects is made by the same or written by the same lady that did Gone Girl, and it came on Sky. Program is bad. Program is bad.
You know what another good program is?
It's a series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you watched The Sinner?
Yes. Both seasons. Fantastic program.
That.
You people on your TV.
Great program. Me and my missus watched
very
that.
good program.
We watched it back to back.
Yeah. Back to back. That
So
one.
every night we're like, The Sinner? Yep. Watched it back to back. But watch Sharp Objects.
Sharp Objects. I'm gonna watch that.
Great program.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Great program. Okay, so you said that you would say Fresh, and you said that you would say Gone Girl. Those are the two films that
But you put me on the spot because I'm gonna mull over it and try and come with something else as well.
Because I think that it's so important to tell people, it gives telling a person to watch a film gives them so much about what type of person that you are in a way.
The Paper.
The Paper's another good one. Yeah.
That's another film that I would say. Okay, if you ask me that question, tell me what film should I watch that you feel kind of gives it not who you are, not like, oh, I am the person in that film, but it shows something about you. Like it shows something about your interests and your views. Because then I'll say something like The Paper.
Okay.
Because The Paper is there's something about that film. It just resonates with me. It's a nothing film. It's just a day in the life of, again, newspapermen.
Is
and
Michael
women.
Keaton one of the most underrated actors of all time?
He is.
Yes, and he also wins the
He is
award.
extremely underrated.
Do you think that he got underrated because of the Batman situation? Do you think Batman made him underrated?
No, because what's his name? Who's the one that the method actor changes his shape, but he was Batman as well.
Val Kilmer?
No, the other one.
No,
The last one.
What's his name?
Well, not the last one.
Ben Affleck?
Not the last.
No.
Not him. The one before him. The good one. Well, no,
Oh,
one
Christian Bale.
that was in the
There
best
you
one.
go.
Christian Bale. He's like lauded as a great actor, and he was in 3 Batman films, not just 2.
But those Batman films were not like normal Batman.
Hold on.
They were Nolan's.
Do not besmirch
I would never
Tim
besmirch.
Burton's Batman.
I would never besmirch Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah, but they were Nolan's. They were. They were Nolan's.
Yeah, they were Nolan's.
Before Nolan's Batman.
I know it.
yeah,
There wouldn't be a
Tim
Nolan
Burton's-
Batman without Tim Burton.
Batman
We all
was
know
the
this.
ish,
We all know this.
and the Joker was the ish.
The thing about with Tim Burton as well is obviously him and Keaton worked in a couple of films. Because
Beetlejuice.
I do not understand. Oh, sorry, I do understand, but I don't think people fully appreciate how great Michael Keaton was in Beetlejuice.
He's
Michael
a great.
Michael Keaton is a G.
He is a G.
Fantastic, crazy man.
But they feel now in the last 3 roles I think he's done now because in Spotlight. In the,
Spotlight?
he's in Spotlight.
Okay, I'm gonna go watch this program when I watch it.
He's in
Birdman.
He's in Birdman.
Birdman.
Very good film.
Yeah. And then
Spider-Man.
Even in Spider-Man Homecoming, is a very good film.
But can we wait for that? Because when the person asked, what's the scene with no talking, I actually had to go on YouTube to find a scene. He's spoken it though, so that's why I didn't use it. But there's a scene in Spider-Man, and I mentioned it before.
Man.
In the car. That's the thing. I don't even have to say what it is. That is acting at its best. And if you notice, the lights turn from green to red. The traffic lights reflect on his face. When he understands something, it turns from red to green.
Yeah.
But it's just a reflection of his face, and it's fantastic. Anyway, but there was a third film. It wasn't Batman. I mean, it wasn't Spider-Man. That all of a sudden, those 3 films, they think, oh wow, Michael Keaton is so good. It's like, you don't know Michael Keaton's been a Batman.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, we might not be the old heads that know music anymore, but we still know cinema, man. That's one thing I'm still very up to the par with.
There was a film I was watching the other day. I can't remember what it was. I just saw one of the best transitions in the film. It was something about to do with development and land and things like that. And the way the camera panned from one side of
Widows.
the street. It might have been Widows, yeah.
That scene is bad.
I'm so glad you get this.
No, everyone got that.
That transition was fantastic.
I can't remember.
You mentioned it before, even when we mentioned Widows. Even
You've
you
seen
mentioned
it. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you know at the end of the film.
It's not the end of the film.
It's not the end.
It's
Somewhere in the
about a third of the way through. Yeah.
Where the camera pans from one side of the road to the other, and it's the disheveled part of the town to the good part of the town.
You must know the bit, man. Okay, so Widows is a film about let's say it's about politics and crime, all right? But whatever. But the
when he drives through.
Yeah.
The
director is basically he's focusing on different things, race and culture and also what's it when you're talking about money and
Politics and
no
Class.
class. He's talking about class. So the way he shows class in one scene is that you have a politician who goes to the hood to promote businesses amongst black women. And he's there talking about, we're going to build this stuff, and he's standing outside, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets into this car with a black driver. And then he starts being racist.
Yep.
Right? Now, the car is filmed, funnily enough, not usually, from the outside.
Yep.
So the car is filmed from the outside, and the camera is mounted on the hood somewhere. And you see it starting on the left of the car. And then the car starts driving through the hood. It's only like a 2-minute bit, and he's talking to his aide, stroke his girlfriend. And blah, blah, blah. The camera pans from left to right. And as it's moving from left to right, it moves from the hood into the
affluent area.
Into the affluent area where he lives. And the things you notice is that it's just, they're so close.
So close.
They're so close.
That is fun.
Yeah, they're so close, for one. And then there's so much in that camera movement. It was a beautiful transition. Yes. It was very much a beautiful transition. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't even know how we got here. But anyway,
because we were talking about Women on the Lens. We were talking about his film. Yeah, we didn't even finish talking about your film.
You didn't, did you?
No.
Oh.
But no, tell us the
It's
thing.
a short film, that's why.
The conversation about the film lasts as long as the film.
We enjoyed it anyway, nonetheless. I enjoyed the show, and I hope that the event goes from strength to strength.
Is there anywhere else that anyone can watch your film? Is it going to be put on YouTube or on your webpage? Do you have a webpage?
I do. It's doing the festival rounds at the moment, so it's just been submitted to another festival. There's a third one we've submitted to, and there's a festival in New York we've sent it off to.
So
we're waiting for feedback.
So what happens with these? So you send them off, they tell you yes or no whether or not you can get them on their festivals, and then that's it, really? Yeah,
you submit the film, they review it and see whether it can fit into whatever section or category the festival circuit does. Because this is one thing I'm learning about festivals now, because I didn't know that you have certain sections devoted to certain things. Because even for my film, the section it was in, I didn't feel it should have been in that section.
Okay.
Because the section it was in is called Love Letters to Herself. But then the films that you saw were all about shadism, racism. You know, it had that narrative to it.
True.
You're on the link to that.
Mine didn't have that narrative to it.
Yeah,
So I found that a bit strange. But
I think you should do a documentary about ESN.
A documentary about ESN would be really good.
In a way, you know.
But blacks don't want to be in it.
I'll be in a documentary about ESN.
I've wanted to do things with you for a minute, and you lot.
No, the things you want to do, I don't want to do. So what?
The thing is, it depicts the both of you perfectly.
What are you about now?
I always wanted to do a show with you called The Ride, where you two review an album while you're driving, which is the things you do anyway.
You've never said this to me.
I have said this to you. I've said this to the both of you.
So both of us are looking at it like you haven't.
I've said.
Are you sure you haven't been saying it to us in your dreams?
No, I've said it to you. I've said it to you. I said this to you.
So hold on.
A very long time ago.
Okay, let's say this pitch.
All right. The name of the show is called The Ride, and it's the two of you reviewing an album or reviewing something. You're driving in the car, and as you do your review, you have your arguments like you do, talking about, no, you should listen to the lyrics, no, you should listen to the beat, blah, blah, blah.
So you want to sell our disputes, basically.
It's a very good format, okay? At the end of the ride, because it's all done over the shoulder, so we're just looking at the two of you like that. At the end of the ride, you turn
From
around
the
and
back.
you say, yeah, over the shoulder.
So you want people to be looking at our backs?
Bruv,
Part of my
listen
back.
to the damn thing.
All right, sorry. At the end.
At the end of the ride, you turn around and say, what do you think? And it's the person whose album you're reviewing.
Twist. So it's a point of view from the person.
Point of view from the person.
But it only works once.
No, it works on any album that comes out.
Yeah, but after the first time, everybody's going to know that the other person's going to be in the back.
No, but you don't know who the person's album is. You just say, you don't talk about the album.
So you don't hear the album, you don't listen to the album.
No, you don't mention the name of the album, and you don't hear much about the album. You just hear your reviews on it.
You can't. It's a bit hard to review something if you don't talk about it.
No, you've heard it, so you're just giving your review. Once you turn around to the
Jay-Z
person,
verse was fantastic.
No, but you don't say that. You say, did you listen to the verse? You listen to the second verse. No, what? You do it like that.
Yeah, all right,
then once you turn around, you see it's the person whose album it is or whose film it is. That in turn makes the viewer say, right, I want to go and see this now because of the review.
Let me pick a song that we all know. Let's say I Did It My Way by, well, the version done by
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra.
You gonna say Fred
Why
Astaire,
not Michael Bublé's version?
How can I rate that song without somebody knowing, good or bad, without somebody knowing that's the song I'm talking about?
Because, like you said, it might be someone else's version. So if, say, like you said,
I told you which version it was. So
I know you
said
it might be someone else's. I know you said Frank Sinatra.
I don't know why you went down this route. I don't know why you decided to go down this route.
You can say Frank Sinatra.
Don't forget his name. My point is, how can you talk about a song and not mention this, like the stuff? How can you talk about an album and not mention the album? Once you talk about an album and I walk into the room and you say, well, that verse was 2 minutes towards the end. Like last week, he barely said a line and I knew he was talking about the Meek Mill album.
Yeah, but not everybody will know that. If you're doing a review, not everybody will know what you're talking about.
All right, okay.
I don't know if that will work. I like the concept of the person being in the back, but I think the impact goes after, and the way that you're trying to keep the impact doesn't work. But
because not all the time you know what you're talking about until the end.
But then why would somebody want to listen to something that nobody knows what you're talking about?
Because what is the most engaging thing is the argument you two have.
So we have to argue.
Basically. So he's dependent on us arguing.
But you do argue about everything.
But we don't. No, there's music that we blatantly agree with. Music is one of the worst things you should actually pick because we agree with most of the time in the music thing.
No, there's times when you have arguments over music. You have arguments over music almost more than anything else.
No way.
Because you will dispute about a verse, a line, a chorus, a beat, or something like that. You have disputes about it. You may not want to call it an argument, but you'll call it a dispute.
Okay, all right, I'll accept the fact that we may not agree on everything, and when we disagree on something, that we will say, "Oh, this was better than that." Okay, cool. But yes, and argue is not necessarily the best word for that kind of situation, because we do often agree when it comes to music. We are more like-minded with music and film than we are with most things, actually. But once we've turned around and said, "What do you think?" and you see the person, then what happens? It's fade to black.
Fade to black.
So we bring in this artist just to sit in the car and do nothing. Don't you think it's a bit of a waste of the artist, of the talent?
No, because you've talked about that album, and all it is promoting that person's body of work. You don't have to promote that person.
Before somebody steals this guy's idea, let's go to something else.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. What's on the
It's only that Kodak Black thing left, isn't it?
Yeah, we said we're going to talk about that though.
All right, okay.
What do you say? I think you're using us for entertainment.
Are you going to play it as well?
I'm going to play that
that's a little snippet.
All right, there we go.
You, man, looking at all your cases and everything you've been through, and I know the recent one right now is very sensitive. And with respect to, everybody involved in that case, we can't get into details today. But, we take sexual assault here serious. And we can't, get into details, but we hope, to have you back so we can have a deeper conversation about that because, this is a serious topic. And we're hearing these stories a lot. You seem upset that I brought it up.
I feel like sometimes when niggas like we going through shit, like y'all be entertained by bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So it's like change the subject. I'm finna walk out.
I think we don't have to talk about nothing else. We could be done right here.
All right, I'm going.
I don't know.
That's a bummer.
That mumbling at the end is, I don't know about people trying to talk about on my show. Tell me what to talk about on my own show. All right. That was Ebro, who is a host and producer, I think, of Hot 97 or whatever is the owner. Whatever, not the owner, whatever.
He's not be the owner,
I don't think he's the owner, but he's somebody there anyway. But anyway, this was his show on Hot 97 New York radio station. And the artist he was talking to, interviewing, was Kodak Black. Now, Kodak Black apparently, because I didn't know about this, is in some hot water now for an alleged sexual assault. So
he literally just came out of prison for something.
Yeah, he came out of jail recently for something else. So as he's interviewing him, somewhere down the line of the interview, he's brought up this subject and he said, we're gonna. Well, you heard what he said.
I'm being leave.
All right. So this thing has been edited quite highly, but you heard Kodak Black say he's not happy with it being brought up and he may leave if you don't change the subject. The subject was actually changed, and they spoke about, do you believe on the moon landing? And he basically, rightly so, said, what kind of a nonsense thing is that to talk about? And then it got brought back to, well, there's a couple of topics that you discuss and you say you don't want to talk about it. Then when somebody else was trying to change the subject, Ebro cut him off and said, no, if you don't want to talk about nothing else, then you can leave. You don't dictate where the conversation goes on our show.
In that snippet, Ebro did say we don't have to go into it.
Yeah, but then he didn't want to talk about anything else that they were talking about either. So, okay, as the host of ESN podcast, if somebody came onto your show and said they don't want to discuss something that you want to talk about, because I know you, I know that you're very adamant about.
I know you're talking to me.
Yeah.
You are the host of ESN show.
You're very adamant about when people come on our show, it's not an interview. You know,
on our podcast.
On our podcast,
yeah, I don't like
it's not an interview. So if you're coming on our podcast, you're coming to chat the same thing that we're chatting.
All right.
But if you're not gonna say you don't want to chat about nothing we want to talk about, what would you do?
Well, you know me. When we have guests on, I always ask them beforehand, "What do you want to talk about?" I would like to discuss things that you're interested in, and they always say nothing. Most of them say, "I don't know."
But if they said to you, "I don't want to talk about chicken breasts because I'll be fitting to walk out," what would you say to that? We just won't talk about chicken breast.
You need to give me a good example because I feel I wouldn't really bring anybody on the podcast that I don't think has something to say about something.
Okay.
But it's hard for me to even put myself in that position. But if I put myself in a position where I've invited a guest to come onto the podcast, we have 7 topics we're discussing, and every time we go through the list, they say they don't want to talk about it. Then I'll leave them there. It's just like it's a mix of Simple Simon, Dat Actor, Big Wahala, and Mr. Wolf. And Stavros, because there are always topics every week that one of us don't want to talk about.
Very true.
So I would say it is an unfortunate situation that one of us has invited a guest on that just so happens to not be willing to talk about things that they may not be as interested in as something else. And unfortunately, they didn't bring anything else to the table as well.
So what do you think about this situation? Because I'm pressed to say I don't care.
Okay, but my point is the angle I was going to come at it from is that you have a split decision on this thing. Some people are saying Ebro's a bitch for bringing it up on radio. Yeah. Why would you bring up a man's case on radio? Yeah. You're a bitch. And some people are saying, well, it's an important subject and let's be real. So by all means, talk about the realness.
Yeah, but the thing about it is he didn't want to talk about it anyway. He said, I know we cannot talk about it. I'm saying when you've had your thing, you can come back and we can discuss it. The argument I've been seeing a lot of people say is, if they have the same energy if Fabulous is up there, would they have the same energy if, I don't know, another one of the rappers that he might potentially like is up there? Would they have that same energy with them?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he may say to them the same thing, when your case is done, let's have a discussion about your case. He didn't have the discussion about the case. He just said, when your case is done, we have a discussion about the case. And what he said, actually, that may cover that is he said, we've been having a lot of these recently. And obviously, we don't like that here. So, potentially, if your case, you get a chance to talk about it for your case. Because if you did get if you did get a chance to come back and talk about it, I'm assuming the bust case.
I can kind of see.
If he's in jail, you can't talk about it, can you?
Both points of view. Because on the one side, I can see as a journalist, you're a radio host, it's your job to kind of like probe and pick, right? So that's kind of like what you're there to do. You don't just come in and give people a free ride just to say what they want to say and then go. Come on, man. Let's have a real conversation.
I don't know anything about Kodak Black apart from his court cases, or that the fact he's in hot water with stuff, the law. That's the only thing I know about Kodak Black. And he made a song called. Is it called Zizi?
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. I've never heard any other Kodak Black song but that.
I don't want to know about him either.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one that said he doesn't like dark skinned women as well.
Yeah. I'm feeling not like anybody the same color as my skin. I don't like that.
He's a
dickhead. That's what I'm saying. So I don't have time for him.
So he hates himself.
He wears a balaclava everywhere he's going. He's a very strange human being. If you looked at him, you wouldn't want to invite him to your house.
I couldn't see him because he's wearing a balaclava.
That's true.
I can also see the other side where if I go into a radio show and you're hoping it's a friendly interview and then they bring up something that you don't actually want to discuss, that you feel like, why did you bring this up? Because we were talking about my new album, we were talking about this and whatever, and now you bring up something that, even as you said, I can't discuss.
But it's news though.
Yeah, but legally I can't discuss it. So you bring it up, you taint me. Let's say I'm innocent now.
Yeah.
You taint me because we don't like that here. There's been a lot of it going on, so we can't talk about it. Imagine I'm talking about you. So, Wahala, we're coming to the end of this episode, and no, we can't really talk about this rape case that somebody's brought up against you, and the rest of us don't like that. But maybe in a few weeks' time, you can talk about it. If you're not, if you're not,
I'll say, I'll say we can talk about it because I'm an instant.
But wouldn't you be like? I know you sitting over there with like, Stav, why? Why did you bring that up?
I would say why you bring it up, but I will also, before I leave, say I'm innocent.
Then again, this is an explosion type of thing. When you're going into a media outlet, if you're going to go on radio and you're going to go on TV, the producers of the show and the management of that individual will say, these are the questions we are not talking about.
Yeah.
And if this guy's got a case, his management will say, right, we're not allowed to talk about the case, so please don't bring that up as a question.
But
that's part of your question.
And he probably just discarded that and did it anyway.
Which
is why
for what reasons?
Right.
Maybe
he did it for numbers.
Maybe part of the thing is we cannot discuss this, we cannot discuss this, and we cannot discuss this case. And the point is, yeah, I know we can't discuss it, so hopefully next time we can discuss it. Because then you've actually said, yeah, well, I'm not asking you to say anything.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But then it's like, but bruv, didn't we agree that we're not going to talk about it? Like, you said you said you're not going to talk about it.
The chick that he said he wants to beat him up or some foolishness like that because he's, I haven't got time for blacks
even
no more,
because people hate Ebro.
Ebro could have just done it in a roundabout way. He said, look, there's been a lot of allegations going around about this, that, and the other, and artists getting in hot water due to sexual assault misconducts. What's your views on that? And don't have to say anything about his case.
I see you trying to use it for entertainment. I'm finna walk out.
I don't like that question anyways.
Why is he rubbing his leg?
Why don't you like that question? That question
What
is...
do you feel about rape?
No.
I enjoy it. It's like, come on now, what do you want me to say? I don't like it, I don't agree with
Somebody's dickhead rappers will say it's cool.
Situation, allegations and the situation. Not say, what do you feel about rape?
So,
that's a basic
What do you
question.
think about Monica Lewinsky? Those type of situations.
I think she got good lips. She's got to go to the lips and
those types of situations.
I heard her gag reflexes are really well.
Cameron, I used to drop the whiskey off at the White House. Holler at me, Bill. Sorry, I've been listening to Cameron all week.
I've been listening to Cameron all day.
The man is a G.
But the thing with regards to this type of situation is he could have just said, I don't want to talk about it, and just carried on again. He didn't have to walk out. If he wanted to walk out, that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with him walking out either.
But that's the Diva-esque move.
They just don't. I don't care about Kodak Black. Apparently, he went on the Breakfast Club and they was wearing all masks and making him feel happy about things. But if they do actually find out he's a sexual assault and he gets made guilty, are they now going to look at people? What does Ebro look like then? If he gets found guilty and everybody sees, okay, he's done the sexual assault and he gets found guilty, and Ebro was there ready to ask the questions, and he was saying to them, we don't like that sexual assault around these hair parts, huh? What does he look like then? It's a bit like the Cardi B situation, isn't it?
Don't bring me on your show then. You can say that. If you have issue with
but he doesn't know yet. He's asking.
Well, then that's the point. If you're innocent until proven guilty, then allow the man to be innocent until proven guilty. You don't say...
But he's asking.
No, listen, the minute you do that, you're tainting the person. Because I don't know about his case. Yeah. So one of these things is sometimes it's like, even just the fact that it's been put out there and everyone knows about it. You know, with certain crimes, certain allegations, and against certain people, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
So Kodak Black,
and guilty still after.
With his history of just coming out of jail, saying nonsense and talking like this. Once he says, yeah, Kodak Black, you did something with one chick, I think I'm going to talk for the three of us. You tell me if I'm wrong.
The actual thing, I didn't really do anything. It's just that she couldn't
The minute
understand.
he rubbed his leg, I thought he did it.
I'm not arguing with...
You know what it is? I don't think she understood what I was saying because I didn't ask her if I could have saying. I just said, and she said...
He's a dickhead. From the time he rubbed his leg, I said you did whatever they asked you to do.
So I'm not there exonerating him. And I didn't know about this thing until this Ebro thing. So I understand it's like you've just put this business out there and there's going to be a mass of people that just assume me to be guilty. Especially in this day and age where it's believe the woman. Please stop stroking your hair on the mic. I could actually
sorry.
believe the woman. So it's like, but I'm innocent. Potentially. I'm not saying he's
Maybe I don't know.
So I wouldn't want my business out there. So I can see both sides of it.
I can also see both sides of it. I just don't care about Kodak Black. So I don't care about Ebro either. So in the end, I was like, it's a whole big of me, I don't care. But if he's done it, I don't see anything wrong with Ebro asking the question. I don't see anything wrong with him saying I don't want to answer it. It's just one of those situations. I don't understand why it's a big deal.
I can see the issue with him bringing it up.
I don't see an issue. He's just saying...
But how can you see both sides of it and not see the actual other side of it?
No, I said I can understand why he doesn't want to answer the question.
Not just not answer the question, why he didn't like it being brought up in the first place.
Well, it's anything negative about somebody you don't want to be brought up.
Well, there you go.
But then he's brought it up now, isn't it? You don't go on any show if you know you got shit that people can bring up that's negative about you.
Then nobody goes on any show then.
Exactly. Or you deal with the thing that comes that way, innit? You have to deal with it. That's part of you being a celebrity, is that negative stuff will be brought up about you. You have to deal with it. Either you deal with it the way that he did, which is like, I'm answering, I'm gone, which is fair enough and fine. Or you say to them, we can discuss this.
Well, then you answer the question, he did deal with it. You're saying you had to deal with it like he did do it.
No, I said to you, I don't have a problem with the way that he dealt with it. Him saying I'm leaving and saying if you ask me this question again, you know me, I'm the type, I would do the same thing. If you ask me this question again, I'm going to get up and go.
He could have dealt with it a lot easier. He could have just said, no comment, next.
Or he could have just said, yeah, later on we could talk about that. But
it could be that other people have brought it up, and like he said, he seems like, why is it when people are going through drama, because he's been through drama in public eye before, why is it that you must always bring it up?
Because that's the point of the media.
It's like you're enjoying it.
And they are.
But they are.
Maybe he's having an off day. He's like, today I can't deal with the fact that everyone's relishing in my misfortune.
So I guess everybody is allowed to.
Today I just need to get back into my limo and listen to my song.
And you want to go back in the studio and talk nonsense again so people can understand, misunderstand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not involved, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So Wahala is not involved.
I clearly don't care.
This is I don't care about.
Dat Actor.
This is the I don't care.
Clearly
episode.
don't care.
I don't care about the timeline episode.
And Stavros is saying we are done.
All
Don't care timeline episode.
The Don't Care Timeline episode. Use the hashtag ESN pod. Let us know. Do you want us to discuss things that aren't on the timeline? Do you feel that all these podcasts are saying the same thing? They're picking the same 7 or 8 things from social media, from the celebrity world, and I'm hearing the same thing in every podcast. Or do you feel like, I like the angle that you guys come at it? Yeah, you cover the same topics as some other people, but the way you come at it is from grown man business.
Grown man shit.
Grown man. And I like the way you come at it. So
and
keep it up.
only power.
Let us know if you have an opinion at all.
I watched that again.
I definitely want to watch something. You know, I'm early enough that I'm going to watch Creed 2. I'm going to the cinema after this.
I ain't not seen Creed before. Creed 2 yet.
No.
You haven't seen 2 yet?
The bare films I ain't seen yet, man.
Oh, wow.
We should talk. Have we watched Black Klansman here?
Yeah.
What do you think about it? I don't know if you discussed it before.
We brought it up here.
I've watched it twice now.
Okay, go on.
I still didn't resonate me the second time again watching it.
What do you want it to do to you?
It's meant to be one of those films that pow hit you, but only to the end.
Yeah, it's the last bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the last scene. That's it.
Before that, I see it as a film that's entertaining.
Yeah,
It's a very mild comedy.
yeah, that's it.
The last, the white bread. But the last scene, pow is like a pow. But the whole film couldn't be that pow. You'd feel away when you left the screen.
If you left one time, you woke up in the night and you looked outside your window and you saw a cross burning, what would you do? How would that make you feel?
Move back to Hackney.
What if it wasn't?
Let's stick with it not being in Hackney. I don't want it to be in Hackney. I don't want that dream to even be put out there.
But what would you do?
I wouldn't really care. I'm not Catholic.
It's got nothing to do with Catholic.
What's it got to do with?
I don't understand why they burn the crosses. It's just backwards white people behavior, but because most of the blacks don't care. But
aren't those hood wearing, cross burning people meant to be Catholics? So you're burning a Catholic
I
symbol.
don't know if they're Catholic.
Do you need to look at it from that angle when clearly somebody that wants to be some sort of white supremacist is burning something on your lawn to try and intimidate you, or at least give you the message that we know you're here and we don't like you? And all you're running is, aren't you meant to be Catholics? It's burning
that's my grass you're burning. My crops are going to die, fuzzy. What you doing there?
Well, a real Catholic would know that you shouldn't have the sign of the cross anyways. It shouldn't represent, because God said there should be no idols, no signs that represent me anyways. So by all means, by all means, let it burn.
Let it burn. You're just burning a piece of wood.
What I would do, what can you do? I'd report it to the police.
But what if it was the police that were burning it? The police are the gatekeepers.
Probably is. I'd set up some cameras. And I'd have security would come into mind, because now I need to defend my family.
I'd put it on social media.
If I could afford moving, should I move?
I'd go on Ebro show and talk about it.
You're chasing me out of town.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Why man just come out with a question that's like a question?
Yeah, what would you do though?
What would you do?
I don't know. Not only me, I go mad, didn't it? And then I'm looking to find you ever done it. But that's me. But it's just like it's the most surreal thing that you would never think in your life, that you'd wake up in the morning.
You're just looking,
outside and you'd be like, cross burning outside your house. And that's what they had to go through. Cross burnings.
Baby, come and look at this. Someone's burning a cross outside.
I'm not even talking about lynches. That's even taking it even further. You walk outside and you see another black man
that's a
hanging.
different thing.
But imagine you just look outside your window and you just saw cross burning and you know what that represents.
You know what? You do everything that everybody else in this day and age would do. You just put it on your phone and film it and then put it up.
Even if they went out your house and put it graffiti on your wall, because this is more likely to happen. Graffiti on your door that says N-word out.
Yeah, LeBron James experienced that a few months ago.
Did he?
Yeah.
So how would you deal with that?
That
You
was-
know that your neighbours or somebody on your road or somebody in that vicinity that knows that you live there has come to your house, violated your door, and told you they want you to get out.
Violated my door.
I don't know what I'd do. I don't think I'd do much. I'd report it. I'd take pictures. I'd set up a camera, and then I'd tell the man.
That's all you could really do,
And
isn't it?
I'll just, what do you want me to do?
I don't know. It's like
Because until I catch you doing
it's a
it,
violation, isn't it? It's a violation to you and your property.
yeah. But then
sound like
I'm
one
one.
of them now, boy.
I'm one of these people that once I'm in the position and there's not much I can do about it, then there's not much I can do about it. I don't sit there thinking about what can I do when my brain has told me there's these 5 things you can do and do them. If you want to take it to a next level, you could sit outside and watch for the rest of your life. That kind of, but you ain't gonna go to that level. So these are the things: set up a camera, tell the police, get rid of it, let the people know.
You think
Maybe inform the neighbors. I don't for my family, maybe.
Okay,
But
so would this be one of those times where you might say to your wife, "I don't want you going outside"?
No.
You'd be fine with her going out as coming in as normal.
I don't think people are built to well, I guess once you start writing stuff on people's wall, maybe you are. In this day and age, maybe, maybe before, when it was you could do it so flippantly, there were no repercussions, maybe it's different. But if you're brave enough to come to my door and do that in this day and age, then maybe you're brave enough to take it further. But it's a bit of a bitch move. And I think if you allow people to intimidate you, then they will.
Okay.
So I don't think I'd tell my missus not to,
Like, I don't want to stop you from being able to watch your film. So
Don't worry, I got 2 hours to get there. But I have to go home now and get the car. But I just wanted to say, because you brought up the LeBron James thing now, or you brought up the topic of somebody writing on somebody's wall, it happened to LeBron James, then that sparked the conversation about racism in America in sports and racism. They had a few weeks of talking about it there. So obviously we mentioned the Raheem Sterling thing here a couple of weeks ago, and that's sparked a conversation here and everything happened. Do you know what Manchester United sent out to their fans before the game against Liverpool?
no.
They sent out a letter to their fans, put it on social media. I'm
Please
assuming.
don't bring any bananas to the
Whereas, well, outside, because of all the stuff that's happening recently, the highlights with what happened at the Chelsea game and racism and anti-Semitism, we want to remind our fans that we want you to come to, because the Manchester United were playing Liverpool last weekend. They went to Liverpool's ground, and we want to remind you to enjoy the game, cut out all those kind of things, anti-Semitism, racism. But also, we have had tragedy in our past. So when they talk about tragedy in their past, there was an airplane, I think it was an airplane from Manchester United,
Yeah.
and it crashed, and like more or less the whole team died, and this was X amount of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the tragedy they're talking about. We've had a tragedy in our past, and we feel that we shouldn't, mock anybody else for their tragedy. So Liverpool,
Wow. Did they talk about Hillsborough?
they have a chant where they basically Manchester United fans have a chant when they go to Liverpool about the
Hillsborough, man.
Hillsborough, yeah.
That's
Wow.
washing, man.
That's deep. Man.
So they're saying, cut that out.
Mm.
Cut that out, and they put that out there before the game. Hillsborough is an event that happened. I don't know.
It's not an event, it was a game and it's a stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, but you say it's the Hillsborough event, innit?
The Hillsborough disaster.
The Hillsborough disaster. Okay, Hillsborough is a football ground where they had standings. There was a section where you could stand. It's elite. It's not allowed now, and because the reason it's not allowed now is because there was a tragedy during the Liverpool versus Hillsborough game where the fans got a bit excited, and they all tried to rush the field. There was a fence. The people tried to climb over, but basically, I think it was about 72 people died. Basically, it was a stampede, and many people died, and there was a big hoo-ha because the police tried to cover it up. The Sun newspaper, which is like banned in Liverpool basically now, because they blamed it on the fans, saying they were savages and thugs. The police covered up this and that. It was up to this was maybe 20 something years ago. It's only like very recently that it's actually been resolved.
They've got justice, yeah.
But Manchester United fans, because Manchester United and Liverpool hate each other. They're like two massive rivals, long-term rivals in football. They insult the Liverpool team with a chant mocking them about the Hillsborough disaster.
Did you see what Nike did?
Go on.
Nike have done kind of like a Colin Kaepernick thing, and they've got like something for Raheem Sterling now.
Is it?
Yeah, I forgot what it said on the slogan.
Nike will sniff out a bit of
racism.
And not just racism, anything.
Sexism.
Money?
any kind of social disorder. It's like, well, we can make some money here. And I love Nike, but I know they do it for their reasons.
The culture vultures.
Yeah, Nike are culture vultures. Anyways, we've run long. Can you imagine with just the 3 of us?
Okay. Okay, at Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. See you later.
DATACTOR, the actor on Instagram, the actor on Twitter. Later.
Stavros says this week is Ozark season 2 on Netflix.
You got through it, yeah?
No, I've gone through 7 episodes. Bang, it's wicked so far. So
Have you watched season 1?
Yeah.
So why are you just giving it season 2? Like the season 1 doesn't exist.
Because I've done Stavros says Ozark season 1 before.
Oh,
I
okay,
think I have anyways. But Ozark, Netflix, watch it. I feel, I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but I prefer it season 1 and 2 to Breaking Bad.
No, season 1 or 2 in Breaking Bad is not necessarily the best.
It's a good program, but I prefer the Ozark.
Ozark's fantastic.
I watched it like crack. Whereas Breaking Bad, I watched it and I appreciated Breaking Bad. I'm loving Ozark.
Ozark.
I will say again with Ozark, a very good performance by the lead actor.
Yeah, the dad.
Because he's Jason Bateman.
Yeah, but you're saying that just because he was a comedian, not because he's actually any better.
But he kind of plays himself still.
No, he does play himself, but he's transitioned very well from his early days of acting to now. Even if you look at his last couple of films, he's been very good. His performance has gotten better and better.
It's still a comedic performance, though.
No, good. He's comedic performance, but his comedic performance has grown.
It's dark comedy, innit? I'll say it's a dark comedy.
Become a lot better.
I'm trying to find a comedy.
There's comedy in that,
you
man.
guys are
Even the crazy human woman.
There's no comedy in.
Yeah,
in
but
Ozark.
funny, man. There's funny bits in there, man.
All right. But anyway, Ozark and Stavros says you can catch me at Stavros says. At Stavros. You can catch me at Stavros Bus on all your social medias. Catch us collectively at ESN Podcast on Instagram and on Twitter. Use the hashtag ESN Pod. That is ESN Pod to join in the conversation. Insult us, laud us, do what you're doing. We've got a new review, so I need to send it to you guys. It was a nice one, actually. Apparently, we got someone through some troubled times.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so please add your review into the list. We have X amount, I think it's only 25 reviews we've got, but every single one is 5 stars.
As it should be.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it's not often you go around catching podcasts with just 5 stars.
Thank you for the 5
I didn't talk
stars.
about everyone else.
Like a Uber driver, thank you for the 5 stars.
I'm saying that as it should be, damn it, for us.
So by all means, please add to that. If you have an Apple device, go onto the podcast function and give us 5 stars. Give us a review. Thank you very much. Send your questions in via voice note to esnpodcast@gmail.com. And we will play them on the show and we'll discuss it. So if you feel that you don't want us to talk about stuff on the timeline, talk about this, then send it to us and we'll discuss it.
I love dilemmas, man.
Yeah, we want the dilemmas.
All the smoke.
And the relationship ones, I will guide you in the right direction.
God.
I will guide you. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening to episode 103 of season 2 of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. Shout out Mr. Wolf, who's not here. Shout out Simple Simon, who's not here. And I want to big up that actor for his role in his film. Yeah. As we do support you. Anytime you're doing something, bruv, I'm there by your side. I'm still your Cody. I'll cuss you, but I'll big you up on the same side as well. So shout out.
Much appreciated.
Shout out what you do. All right. Anybody got anything else to say?
I would just like to say, if you have got anything that's relationship based, this is what you sounded like. You sound like the guy that said, if there's anything that needs to be happening in a relationship based, I have done it. I have done it. That's what he sounded like he was going to say. I have done it.
I'm gonna insert that clip for anyone that doesn't understand what he's on about.
I tried to do the hair stroke as well so you could hear it. Because you know when he was stroking his moustache, you heard the shit.
I've done it. Well, we did hear it.
Oh, good. That's good.
All right. You?
No. I was gonna talk about something, but I'll do it next week. If I'm here next week.
Say your line.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you for listening to another episode. We appreciate you as much as you appreciate us. And if you are not saying anything, say it.
Slag for life. America. Yeah, bogey all over your bloody face. It's on your bed. It's on your nose. Push your bogey. All right.